Good morning or good day, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, of Twitch, viewers here at the University Star League, very welcome to our third CouchCast this season. We're going to be watching some Hearthstone later in the day, but first we're going to kick it over to what's really the true esports, StarCraft 2. What do you think?
Damn right, that's how it is. I'm Tenshi.
You are, and I'm MrBadExample, Henning, Eklund, and we're here to bring you the games. We're going to be casting 6 games of StarCraft 2 to begin with, and then there's going to be a Hearthstone best of 9, I believe it is. I'm not entirely sure about that.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
I saw 5 decks for each player, so I guess it's best of 9.
Good stuff.
So anyway, we're going to first have 3 games from the casual league, which means it's going to be players in the silver or gold division. And in the 3 later games, they're going to be like masters or grandmaster level players, and finish everything off with Team Properties Mecca versus Millennium's Madalisk. Of course, a great game with 2 of Sweden's top tier players. So I think without further ado, we should get into the first game, which is going to be Beowulf against Alinatreal.
Alinatreal.
Okay, anyway, here is the first guy. You can see Beowulf there on the picture. A perfect representation of Beowulf, yeah, there. And his name is Jonathan Magnusson. He's studying in Gothenburg, and he's playing Terran in this game.
That's your race.
It's my race, Terran, or Gothenburg's. What do you mean?
Second player, Alinatreal, is Alexander Salitis. Sounds like a Greek surname. Goes to third turn, and he's actually playing random, which I think is quite interesting that you can do in this tournament, because some tournaments do not allow that, you know.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for the casual tournament to allow random players, because like it's mainly for fun.
Yeah,
anyway,
sort of get into the competitive feeling of things. But here we are jumping into the game now, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning in the blue shade, he is none other than the blue Terran, Beowulf.
Beowulf himself there, and his opponent here in the bottom right-ish position is the red random player, now spawning as Zerg. It is Alinatreal.
Wow, that was really French of you.
Yeah, I think you can. You could make it French.
Are you French?
I did speak a little bit of French.
You might be French.
Je parle un peu français, oui.
Oh, wow,
monsieur.
That's very beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't really speak.
You could take me to the Eiffel Tower sometime.
Here's a trick if you want to like give the impression that you're able to speak a language. Like, you don't actually have to learn the language. Just learn a couple of basic phrases, and then like may have good pronunciation. Then it sounds like you know.
Like make it fluent.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
So I don't actually like speak any French, but I can say a couple of like sentences which sounds really French.
I have the only useful sentence I know is parlez-vous anglais?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's the only useful.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch, mein Herr?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Okay.
Ja, ich auch. But anyway, so
Alinatreal. He is doing the, I don't know if it's a French build, but it's the 10 pool with the extractor trick. So a 10 pool, then extractor trick, then going into the overlord. So quite a weird build, and he's actually going for, wow, 3 drones here after the spawning pool.
Yeah, so he only pulls and grabs a gas.
Isn't this like the really old school Destiny popularized, like, didn't he do like 11 pool, 18 hatch or something like that, which turned out to be like as good economically as a 14 pool, 15 hatch?
I'm trying to think here.
I think it was like 11 pool because you get a faster queen and you get like the first round of larva drones comes out and it makes up for cutting drones for the pool, something like that.
Not gonna lie, I actually don't know.
I'm not sure. I think that might be something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's really weird to see such a quick pool without any Zerglings being made. Anyway,
he hasn't even made that first scouting pair, so I think that's very interesting.
Anyway, we do have Beowulf as a turn play going up against the random. You're always going to be being a bit wary, but we can see no SCV scout, instead going for the Reaper, which is actually a build I enjoy doing against random players.
Was it like a 12-12 opening and then into the reactor? Very solid, very standard. Actually, he's got his depot down here, so this drone could... Oh, never mind, he does not get in. And Beowulf is just hanging about it, ready to drop his natural command center. There we go. Reactor's about halfway done. Has been scouted here, so Alinatreal does know that he's up against something very standard here from our Terran player.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see 14 Zerglings actually being made here by Alinatreal.
Oh, wow.
As well as having mined 128 gases from now, still keeping 3 drones in the gas. So the Reaper actually might go down here. Wow, Beowulf not microing to the best of his ability there, I think. Anyway, Alinatreal with so many Zerglings and the Baneling nest on the way as well. Let's see if he wants to go with speed with this, or if it's just like slowing Bane, which is extremely aggressive.
Yeah, it could definitely be that.
Yeah, and we can see Beowulf actually reacting really to this with cancelling his natural command set instead of building up on the high ground, which, I mean, I think it's a good move to cancel it. I'm not sure about dropping the command set at all, though. Maybe I would have went for the faster factory and get out some Hellions or some mines quick as possible. Because
I think he'll be fine. I mean, the Baneling nest is going to be finishing up now. Then there's another 25 seconds or so until the Banelings finish morphing. He's got this bunker up. He could actually potentially use a second one because, I mean, when they connect through that depot, I think that some of that splash damage can spill over onto the bunker. I'm not entirely certain, but it could very well be that way.
I think that's the way. He's going up to scout with his Zerglings, and he actually did go for speed, so not going to be able to make as many Banelings. Starting to whack away of these depots. Loses a Zergling, so get some scouting information, a little bit of damage, and here's actually 6 Banelings. Could have went for an additional 4 if he had skipped speed, but he's building drones behind it.
Yeah, so this is by no means like a super all-in build. He's actually transferring a couple of drones already to his natural. He's got a while to go before that's done. Still kept these guys on gas, I guess, for potentially making extra Banelings, but here we go. Bunker, depot does go down, and 6lings get in, and they're going to be able to do just about nothing, actually. Get some scouting, but that's about it.
Yeah, Alinatreal not really committing to anything right here. It's going to be able to pick up 1 SCV, maybe? No, it's going to get away just barely. Anyway, yeah, he did like no real damage, just kill the depot, but he's making Beowulf a bit scared, I think, so not entirely wasted in a way, and he can just build drones behind it. Anyway, he's only at 21 drones to the 25 SCVs of Beowulf, so it's not in a great position, especially as I would argue that the tech advantage is also for Beowulf here, as he's going for the reactor on the factory right now, and if he gets out some Hellions right here, Alinatreal, he needs to prepare for this, but wow, super quick lair.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for him to defend well versus any sort of pressure now coming out from Beowulf, because, I mean, he'll be able to get those Hellions out, he's got a bunch of Marines already. I mean, just like a joint push with Marines and Hellions can be really, really strong versus only Zerglings. I mean, he can make a couple of Banes, but he's already made the investment here without doing any real damage, and we can see Beowulf taking quite a lead right now in supply, almost doubling his opponent.
Yeah, absolutely, and going for the slightly more aggressive play here, going for the Marauders and the Stimpak, so he's probably going to just pump Marauders there and then probably go for an attack with like 6 Hellions when Stim is finished and like all his Marauders and Marines.
I think he can get more than 6 Hellions, you know, waiting for Stim, because I mean, Stim takes quite a while, but he's going for double mines anyway, so more of a defensive posturing here from Beowulf. I mean, you could be aggro with mines, but I don't think that he's going to be doing that.
It probably feels quite scared after the opening.
He's a little passive. I mean, he's kept the bunker on his high ground, so...
yeah, I mean, even though Alinatreal's opening didn't really do any direct damage, we can see that here that he's done like some indirect damage, you could say, to the mindset of Beowulf, absolutely. So
it's, you know, psychological warfare. Mines burrowing at the front, in front of that bunker, so that they can connect with anything that comes and knocks on his door. Now we have +1 attack being researched for Alinatreal. Now we have Beowulf doubling his opponent in supply. And that's bad.
It's pretty bad. And he is actually making mines here, so with the addition of the Starpod, it could be like just a frontal assault with everything, with the mines as well.
Yeah.
Or it could be a mine drop along with a biotech to the front. It's going to be really interesting to see what he goes for. But anyway, with like the mindset behind the thought behind the attack from Beowulf, I think, is to catch the Zerg with mines when it doesn't have detection. But Alinatreal has went for such an extremely fast lair, it's not going to really be that effective. However, not really anything being done with the lair tech so far. No really fast infestation pit, no real fast spire, so... Yeah, there is the Overseer, so that's probably why he went for that. Is it an offensive Overseer? Yeah.
No, I feel it's fairly defensive. He's going to be scouting with this one. It's on the left-hand side, right to that natural base. But now we have a move out here from Beowulf with a bunch of mines on bio. There is a Roach Warren down, by the way, and we've got Global Reconstitution in production right now for Alinatreal. He's going to have to make a bunch of units with this. Lingbane is not going to be able to stop this, especially not if those Marauders or that single Marauder at the front tanks the Baneling connections.
Yeah, how long do we have on the medevacs? I know the stopwatch is completed, and now it's actually building a reactor itself.
That takes 50 seconds, and it's halfway done right now.
So no medevac's going to be with this attack. Anyway, mines and marines, as any StarCraft player would know, that is quite scary. I think you're just going to want to poke in and grab some creep, maybe kill an overlord or two. Not commit too far, I think, because there's quite a big army for Alinatreal.
We'll see. I mean, he's got these mines, and but there's no stim yet. Oh no, never mind. Stim is done. So. Yeah, this could be a very, very scary push here coming out from our Terran play. We have Banelings morphing right now. These units in the main aren't doing anything. Drones coming off the line. Queen does fall. Bunch of links coming in here. Mine connections being not too good, but definitely getting damage done here. Now moving back from these Banelings on top of creep. These are connections. Deals with most of the bio, but okay, everything dies. So Alinatreal does hold that off, but at what cost?
Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna survive that attack, but with 21 workers to 45, the Terran at 77 supply with a huge bank of minerals, it's gonna be really tough to be able to defend this. He had quite a big army on the high ground. Yeah, it's still there actually in his main base, so did not realize that he had that army and had to pull his drones instead. So yeah, Alinatreal not using his forces to the best of his abilities. Anyway, Beowulf going into huge mine production. I think that's like 10 mines he has right now, so that's going to be really, really scary. Yeah, even though the mines didn't do too much in the last fight.
No, but they could definitely come into play later now. Do you think these units were here positioned by Alinatreal just like as drop defense or anything like that? Because I mean, he didn't really move them, and they're still hanging about there. Not too much happening in the production tab of our Zug player as well. He's not adding too many additional drones, which he should be doing. So, I mean, his economy is not going to be that great. We have Mules for the Terran as well, who could easily go ahead and take his third base.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the drop with 2 mines and 4 marines going to be able to go into the main base because there's very little creep and very little overload spread from Alinatreal. So having very little vision on the map.
There's a drone here. There's a drone here by this base. Do you think he was looking to like take that as his third? Very risky.
That is not impossible.
But he does see that medevac. Now, question is, does our Zug player see this?
Or was it a scouting drone?
Just like chilling. But the medevac is going to be coming in here, boosting into the main, unloading its deadly cargo. Mines do burrow, but okay, a couple of drones do fall, but they're not going to be able to do too much. Denying the gas mining though, so that's a little annoying here for our Zug, but he needs minerals right now. He's got 600 gas units coming in here.
I mean, it did kill quite a bunch of drones there, as well as forcing a lot of lost mining time. Do you know how many drones he actually got with that drop? Wow,
6.
17 in total, so 6 in that attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, some quite good defense there for Alinatreal, who actually is rocking quite a scary 2-base army here with Ling, Bane, Roach, as well as going into the infestation pit with actually +1 melee and +1 range being about to complete. So,
like Roach, Ling, Bane is actually very powerful versus Biomine.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless if the numbers get really high and the upgrades get good for the Terran, it's not so good. But if you can catch him in like these kind of situations with not so much supply for both players, it's quite good. But yeah, speaking of supply, I mean,
150 to 60. That's actually crazy. No mining going on in the main either. The drones have still not been pulled back to that mineral line. Small army here in the main for our Zerg player, and Beowulf is now moving on to creep very aggressively. Combat shield just finished, and +2 weapons is on the way. So even if he does not kill his opponent all outright with this attack, it's going to be very difficult for Alinatreal to deal with the following up attack with +2.
Absolutely, and 4 Infestors on the way. I think he would be able to hold this if he would have had Pathogen Glands, but I do not believe that the energy upgrade is done, so we're gonna have
he doesn't have it.
4 Infestors popping without energy for Fungals, which is really huge. Anyway, here goes with all the drones, all the roaches, all the Zerglings, and I think this is the last stand of Lateral, and it looks like he will be able to hold.
What?
But at what cost?
Is this actually happening? He's been holding these attacks have just been crazy. Okay, 1 Infestor does fall. That's not good. Not when you have no money. When you have no money, like, you know, losing stuff like this. But these guys, they should be fighting. They don't want to be just, like, you know, walking away. But, okay, medevacs are pretty good. He does get one of those Marines.
Medevacs are decent.
Yeah, they're pretty okay, right?
Yeah. Okay,
they're actually very low in health. And he's focusing down the Infestors. I like this. Nice, cute micro there from Beowulf. Getting every single one as well.
Yeah, that is really good for Beowulf, because in such a low economy situation as Alinatreal is in, free units are like infested Terrans or like locusts are pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be able to get out any more free units. They're taking the third base on the bottom left, which we mentioned previously. There was a drone there. Anyway, this looks like it's going to be the follow-up attack for Beowulf, who I believe is still on 2 base.
Yes, he is, but he's about to take his third base. Small counter-attack attempt from Alinatreal gets cleaned up right away. Nothing dies. from our Terran player, and yeah, he's going to be falling back with even a queen out in the open there. I don't know what she's up to, but yeah, this is actually a pretty bad spot here for Alinatreal. He has not gone over 65 supply at any point in time in this game.
Wow, and that just goes to show that Beowulf is, while Alinatreal is holding the attacks, I mean, Beowulf is kind of dominating the macro war, the macro battle. Keeping his minerals somewhat low, and you can just see the size of his production tab. I don't know if it's compensating for something, but it's almost covering half the screen right here. So, yeah, that is not bad at all. Just, if as a general rule, the guy with the biggest production tab usually is rocking the best micro as well.
Yeah, I mean, because if you've got the macro mechanics nailed, I mean, improving macro is so much more difficult than micro.
Well,
I personally feel that way, at least.
What
about you? Yeah, well, you know, I actually need to have a micro. I'm not like, oh my god, T, and then I like A move in a concave.
Yeah, you know, Marines are the units that acquire the least micro in the game.
Yeah, because you just like, they shoot up, they shoot left, they shoot right, they shoot down, they shoot everything.
Yeah, everything just getting obliterated by these little...
Did you know, like, the Marine weapons is like a C12 Gus rifle? It's a 20 millimeter caliber, like, big gun. 20 millimeters, it's like big shell that weighs, I don't know, like 250 grams each.
That's pretty cool.
Like if you were shot with one of those, you'd probably explode.
Wow.
That's what these guys have.
And it looks like they have so small bullets. I mean,
yeah, I know.
If the Marines have so big bullets, like what is the Marauder rocket? Because that's like 4
it's a
times
rocket.
the size.
They actually fire a rocket.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, the rocket firing going on here. Baneling is actually getting some good detonations, but the splits are decent from Beowulf.
They were decent.
And he is loading into the medevacs with the Marines as well, so this is just going to be the cleanup, I think. Alinatreal with 42 supply, hanging on. He is fighting for his life here, but it's not probably going to be enough, as there is soon to be a maxed Terran knocking on the natural of a 50 supply Zerg, killing down the evolution chamber, and he's still fighting in there. He's going in there, and here comes all the drones from the main base. The Queen as well as a Zergling thrown in there for good measure. With the Ling, reinforcements there. Will they actually be able to clean this up? No, I think there are too many medevacs here.
Yeah,
almost
I mean,
a personal
with
medevac.
2-1 versus 0 armor Zerg units, it's just going to be too difficult. Full supply, and then we have ouch in Swedish to all of you international viewers. And Natural does fall, and I think that this is going to be game over, because when you're at full supply to 196 Terran, I think it's your cue to leave.
I think it is. Almost a fantasy GG timing here. He does have the base on the bottom left, though.
He's got 2 workers. We could potentially make...
No, it's 5, actually.
What? Oh, well, yeah, we got additional drones hatching there. Okay, I'm dead. Alinatreal accepts defeat, and GG is cooled. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the first game, and my hair is really bothering me today. Yeah, but...
I don't think it's bothering any of our viewers, except for the
maybe
female ones that might not be able to control themselves.
Maybe a mustache. But, I mean, you're a bad example, so, I mean, you're like the wild one, right?
Wouldn't call myself super wild, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you're such a bad example.
Wow, never heard that one before. Like every ladder game I go into, I hope you won't live up to your name this game.
Yeah, I should name myself Douchebag Protoss.
But that would give away too much, I think.
Oh, would it? Oh, yeah, guys, I'm an arsehole, right? But anyway, we've got more games coming up now, so we're going to be jumping into this very quickly, I guess. But player presentation coming up first, and a friend of mine, actually, I know this guy, I've been talking a little bit, Jonathan Almean, goes to Stockholm University, and he does play the Master Race, lives in our capital, Samurai Jack, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Protoss, of course, the least samurai race of all, I think.
No, they have sai blades, like swords.
But aren't samurai supposed to be like honorable and just?
Yeah, zealots are like that. They're like, my life for hire. Like they grow up all of their lives fighting each other to kill Terrans.
Protoss is probably the least honorable race, in
my
my opinion.
Yeah, well, you're a filthy
and in like most
Terran.
people's opinion.
Oh
anyway, here is Aron Ambrosiani.
One of our crew guys.
Yeah, he is working with the University of Saligo, has been at least. He is from Stockholm, studying at Stockholm University, and his name in the game is SpaceDucK from Clan Duck, of course.
Probably likes duck soup.
Never had duck soup, actually.
Nor have I, but we should.
I've never actually heard about duck soup.
Why don't we go out to a restaurant sometime and try duck soup?
Does it even exist?
Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, so I guess I'll introduce my guy, and you can take the other guy.
From your team?
Yeah, so sporting in the top right-hand position here on Yonsu, between these two players, wearing the color red. He's none other than Samurai Jack. Should play the theme song from the cartoon.
What? Is there actually a cartoon?
Yeah, there's a cartoon. Oh my god.
I had no idea.
Have you had a child?
I don't know. I grew up in the countryside, so like childhood was playing with worms and cats and stuff in the forest. Anyway, here in the bottom left corner, it's the cool guy from Team Duck. His name is Soup. Or SpaceDucK, I don't know.
SpaceDucK. I'd say SpaceDucK.
But like,
do you think it's
Duck
just
is
like
the clan tag.
Is it like
you don't?
You had Duckload Ra in his name.
He did.
Yeah, he did because the Duckload was his like sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same. You would like, you wouldn't call like, oh, his name is Liquid Teja. No, Liquid is his team, and Teja is his name. So I don't know if it's the same as SpaceDucK. If Soup is his name and Duck is the team, the clan tag.
Because he's got Duck SpaceDucK.
Yeah, but so that's like what most people have because they implemented the. Like,
I'm not gonna call. If we call, we're not gonna call him Soup. Come on.
And here's Soup coming in with his. Yeah, you could.
Do you think so?
Maybe SpaceDucK. I don't know. Anyway, going for the cool strat here.
Oh, he's gonna get that SEV 5 HP. Okay, no.
Terran Micro Master.
Oh wow, that was actually.
But he's delaying the barracks by like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's
which
actually
is
pretty big.
Delay the orbital.
And the Reaper.
Command. But he did went for another SEV there.
No additional SEVs on gas though, so that's going to delay the Reaper as well. I think that this actually threw SpaceDucK off a little bit.
Yeah, doing the probe harass there forces player of the. Oh, he's actually going to get the. I think he's going to get the SV, right? Unless SpaceDucK locks out. So the micro SEV!
There's a Marine coming out, so that probe is on the.
Wow.
Okay. Goodbye, probe. GG.
Oh, he's going to get it. Oh! The RNG
oh
working in SpaceDuck's favor there.
Building terrors. Oh my. He was proxying our axe.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Why are we so terrible?
What? I actually said like, oh, is that a macro axe?
Yeah, it's a macro axe.
No, I don't think it is a macro axe. A macro axe is close to base, I think.
Yeah, okay, but okay, look, he did take this gas, so he's got one guy mining that, and he's just not producing anything right now. He's at 300 minerals. He's gonna drop a CC. We'll see.
Oh, it's gonna be the bunker?
Maybe. Yeah, he should.
Or a proxy CC?
Stalker, okay, there's a bunker, but Stalker is just about ready now. And I mean, with the bunker here, there is nothing that can actually get past this Stalker, because I mean, Stalkers are pretty good versus such a small number of Marines. And they'll be able to get like additional ones and also get a mothership core. I mean, this Samurai Jack is on double gas, so
he's going to spot out the bunker?
Oh yeah, he probably saw that with the simulator.
Wow, yeah, that's really good for Samurai Jack because this was quite an aggressive build from SpaceDucK. You should cancel this bunker, by the way.
Yeah.
And
or maybe he's trying to buy time.
Yeah, probably just buying some Stalker time. Let's see if he actually wants to get aggressive with pure Marine versus a Stalker and a mothership core. I wouldn't. Unless you pull SCVs along with it.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 doctors wouldn't recommend that. You actually need 4 Marines to kill a mothership core without microing them.
Yeah.
And like if you have a Stalker supporting, you need like 6 or 7 Marines, I think.
Yeah, and there's going to be 2 Stalkers out momentarily, so...
Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Soup in a quiet...
He could get this Stalker though, if he... Oh, never mind. Mothership core, Stalker comes in here. This is going to be very difficult. He should fight this, because he can easily win.
Yeah, he has a 5th Marine coming in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He should probably just pull back, and with his 700 minerals that is rocking...
Double CC?
I wouldn't. I would probably...
Yeah, that'd be very risky, but I mean...
CC on a second gas.
Samurai Jack right now, he's actually not added any additional tech. We've got gateways coming down now. His warp gate is just around the corner. So, okay, I guess he could go and poke with the Mothership Core Stalker. So I know that's so annoying as a Terran player.
Yeah, it is.
When
you're a pure Marine.
Yeah, when the Protoss comes and like kills the depots at your ramp with the Mothership Core.
Yeah, when you only have Marines, it's quite hard to fend off actually. Let's see. Yeah, there's the Twilight Council for Samurai Jack. So
Blink
probably gonna go for Blink because it's quite a good map for Blink, as is every other map ever. So okay, maybe not every map.
I think Daedalus Point is pretty terrible for Blink.
Well, it's still like decent.
Habitation Station is also really bad for Blink.
Yeah,
it's really
probably
bad. Yeah, like you can't blink on that one, or like in PvP you can.
Yeah, like defensive Blink is always
it's okay.
The same, but
it's okay, but
like
aggressive
blink all in or Blink aggression is
very difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Stim started right now at the exposed position. So I mean, this is something that I've noticed a lot. Like Terrans who like researching Stim on Tech Lab, like at the front, you get that, and that's sort of like game over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like if you PvT, you kill Stim, you can pretty much win the game with anything.
Yeah, it's the same versus Zerg as well. If they go for like some Baneling Bust or Aggression anyway, and if they get attack trap when you reach researching limits, like at least it's gonna delay all Terran timings by like 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like
how long time
killing that little thing it's just so. It's like you know, I don't know. It very seldom happens, but like if you manage to kill the Cybercore before Warp Gate, or something like that.
Or if the Protoss like accidentally cancels Warp Gate.
Oh my god! Do you know how many times I've done that?
I have no idea, but I know Huck did it in some tournament. It was really funny.
Do you remember this game between MC and Idra?
Which one?
It's just like it's one way back on Metropolis.
Not at the top of my head, no.
And Charge is 1 second from finishing.
Wow.
And he gets it, the Twilight Council, and that was just like GG.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes with upgrades. Anyway, speaking of upgrades, we have Blink as well as a Dark Shrine coming in.
Off of one base.
Probably gonna send in 1 or 2 DTs, and I mean, do you think you can make Archons with this, or would that be terrible?
Yeah, that'd be terrible, because I mean, you need a good Stoke account for this to work. He's actually got a pretty sizable force here, but with 3 Marauders out already and Stimpack just about ready, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, we even have Medivacs about to pop. He could add Widow Mines. We've got an Engineering Bay as well, so he can build turrets and detect. He's got double CC, so he's got a lot of scans available.
He's going to get a depot for free.
Here we go. This is the thing I was talking about. Okay, so he breaks the depot to let the DTs get in.
Let's see if Soap realizes that the DTs are getting in. Do we have any scans on the command center?
Yeah, double.
Okay, so double scan, really good. Oh, and it doesn't scan though. These DTs are doing so much damage. He's stealing down these Stalkers though, but the DTs are the MVPs of that fight. There comes the Scando. He needs to focus these down immediately because they do so much damage, and all the buyer is so low. Who's gonna win this fight?
Nice
because
blink.
Jack.
Wow, look at that blink.
Huge blink. Wow!
Keeping he lost 1 Stalker there with the initial game. And GG, SpaceDucK just calling that really quickly. I thought SamuraiJack was dead.
Yeah, I mean, I think Soup could have won that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty handily. But yeah, great micro there from SamuraiJack. Actually, like dodging out the shots with his Blink Stock micro.
Absolutely. Was pretty intense. I actually thought that was impressive. Did not expect that. So that was actually a fun game.
Yeah.
Little scrappy.
And DTs are really cool because if you play Hearthstone, I'd compare them to the Magma Rager or like the Core Hound because they have so high attack that like
super squishy.
But super squishy. So like if you shoot at them, they're gonna die. But if you let them hit you for free, they're gonna do so much damage.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. That's like a good analogy.
Maybe I thought it was.
Have you seen like skins for SC2 for Hearthstone?
No.
I hope people release.
That would be pretty cool.
Like a Hearthstone mod in the arcade in StarCraft. Like you have like heroes, you have like Kerrigan, Jim Raynor, General Warfield.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Naniwa.
And you play out the Idra card, Enrage, Concede.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's so good. And the Artosis Pylon.
Oh yeah. Like if you kill that, you discard your hand or something.
Yeah, or like everything else around it, just like discard that.
Wow. Anyway, Hearthstone is for later in the day. Yeah. Now it's StarCraft time.
Master race game, ladies and gents.
Here's the first one. It's Mule the Mule. Since Philip Carlson is studying in Lund and he's playing Terran, so
that's
another guy on my team.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice, lots of
yeah, it's like
autographs.
Polo, MMA, Innovation. Some cool guys there.
Yeah, cool guy. And his opponent is Krax. Andreas Kron. He goes to Stockholm University, plays the race Zerg. And yeah, these guys are going to be duking it out.
Yes, and it's going to be a Terran versus Zerg on Heavy Rain. Let's just jump into it. And down here in the bottom right-ish position on Heavy Rain is the guy in my team, the red Terran player from Lund. It's Mule the Mule.
I like how you add ish.
But it's like not the bottom right.
It's to the right.
Yeah, it's to the right.
It's not very right.
Yeah.
It's very wrong.
It's somewhat wrong, but mostly right.
Yes. And his opponent spawning up here wearing the color blue. He is the Zerg warrior. Krax. Will he be able to take this? We will see.
So just to recap what's going on, this is the last game that is from the casual leagues. After this, we're going to have some games from the competitive league. And of course, finishing that off, we're going to have Team Fiotis Mecca versus Millennium's Madalisk.
Oh, it's going to be the highlight of today.
Yeah, absolutely. And The same thing with the last CouchCast. Actually, we had a really good game as the last one there as well. We could see Winter. So we're gonna see another University Star League champion here with the Season 1 champion Madalisk.
Yeah, I mean it's I'd like to see Winter face off versus Madalisk in CVZ.
Yeah,
I'd like to see
for
that.
CVZ being so boring.
What you don't like? I think CVZ is okay to watch.
No, it's like.
Have you seen like Korean GSL CVZ like So versus Nest-T or something?
No, it was quite a while ago. So high level
something
CVZ.
like that. It's just like insane.
But I think that TVT has always been this really fun matchup
I
to
love
watch
TVT.
for me, and PvP is now evolving to be like really cool to watch as well. It's just CVC that stays
Dude, you know, like Zest versus Parting and Rain. You know, he all killed SKT1.
Wow.
Like a month ago or something like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, dude, that's like.
But
crazy.
when you get to like the
5-0, easy.
But like PvP, when you get to like the speed war prisms, the pylons all over the map.
Oh, and the like immortal dropping.
Yeah, and you're like trying to take 3 bases, they're getting the double forge, but then there's like 2 speed war prisms going around. It's like getting to 10 versus 10 level of entertainment, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with it. TVT is probably my favorite mirror right now.
Yeah.
Like I love playing.
It's
TVT
always
as well.
been.
I really enjoy playing it because I mean in TVT you definitely feel like this is a matchup of skill.
Yeah.
There are so few like RNG factors that can. It's a very not coin flippy sort of matchup.
Well, you could argue with the openings, but there is also safe openings as well.
Yeah.
Like if you go for the 15 gas, you're not gonna die pretty much. So, yeah, I mean TVT is just a matchup that even like Marine Tank Wars is always gonna be like come down so much to skill and positioning.
Or Mech versus Bio.
Mech versus Bio is really cool, but like, and even if there's Mech versus Mech with the huge tank lines, it's still really enjoyable to watch for me at least, because you know you're gonna get to the late game, you know you're gonna go to like a huge Viking Raven.
MVP versus MMA.
Yeah,
Rain versus MVP.
The game that just comes to my mind is MVP versus Top on Daybreak, with like mining out Daybreak, having huge siege tank line in the middle, and MVP wins by dropping ghosts in Top's main base and nuking the whole base.
Oh my god, I remember that game.
But because there's like 3 lines of turrets, he has to go in with Ravens first, drop PDDs, so you can drop the
But like
ghosts.
he even like drops down a Thor or something momentarily.
Yeah. It's like,
oh my god, that
mind blown.
So good.
So that's what TVT is to me.
We've had some great games through the years, haven't we?
Absolutely.
The average level of skill has evolved greatly in SC2. But I mean, looking back on games like that, for example, the game that made Blizzard nerf Snipe, Nest-T versus MVP on Shakuras, and he snipes 20 Broodlords and just doesn't give a damn. And so sick.
There are actually, for people that are just coming into the game, like came in recently, there is so much that you have to watch.
Oh god,
I mean,
yeah. Oh god.
I don't know if you like where you can find a list, but tweet at us. Maybe we can help you out and show some games that you have to.
MrBadExample and I are pretty good. We've been in the business.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought the same because like I came into StarCraft with StarCraft 2. I've never been watching Brood War. So I guess it would be the same, that there are so many Brood War games that I have to watch.
There are definitely many highlights that you want to catch, and there's a lot more Brood War material as well. But you'll have to search a little bit, like in Korean databases and stuff like that. But I think a lot of it is like out via Team Liquid actually, so it's can get some pretty good games. But
speaking of good games,
yeah, we have one on our hands right now, don't we?
We do, and there is 10 roaches on the way here for Krex. Has actually gone up to 2 bases quite rapidly, but we did actually see the Reaper going in to scout the quick roach warren and the quick roach attack, so there is a siege tank on the way for Mule the Mule.
Like this. I was going to ask you, do you think that he could defend his ramp?
I think that with a siege tank on the high ground, there's going to be no problems whatsoever, because there is actually no overlord for Krex, or there is one over there, so like if he wants to pull that in for high ground vision.
I think this is interesting, by the way, MrBadExample. Double NGB.
Yeah.
Only a reactor and attack lab.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he wanted to switch over to
Hellions,
make Hellions, of course, and then get the stem. But he saw this attack and he realizes that I just have to hold this and I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
Actually, no third command center added, that's what I know. And here comes the Roaches actually getting shelled away at by the siege tank, but there is no wall in for Mule the Mule. The Roaches could just go up the ramp, I think.
Getting 3 mules.
A 4th one actually being dropped to repair, so I think there's going to be a lot of mules, and at least a lot of mule time being getting here by Krex, who's actually keep making circlings right here. So There is the wall in on top of the ramps. He's not going to be able to just march up there and kill the siege tank.
He might actually he might be able to. There's no SCVs ready to repair their links connecting.
Oh, the mules though, they are blocking the roaches. Really good micro. And here's a second siege tank. You should not siege up that one. Just pumping away at those roaches, but they are going into melee range of the siege tank. We're able to get it down. The orbital command is actually blocking really well. And Mule the mule holds off the first attack, but a huge round of Zerglings coming in. He needs to wall off again ASAP.
Yeah, okay, actually, but wow, that siege tank doing crazy damage.
How many kills does he have?
He's got 23 on the first one and 7 on the other one, so 30 kills between both of these tanks. I actually have this thing where I always underestimate unsieged tanks. I'm like, okay, they're unsieged, so I go in with my zealots and everything gets annihilated.
Yeah, I mean, the DPS against armored is like...
That's crazy, it's really good.
Better than siege when the siege, if you don't count the splash damage,
really, really good. Can't actually mouse over the damage here, but we've got this amazing UI, as, or like... overlay or whatever you call it. As you guys can see, it's just so nice. But I can't like mouse over to see how much damage they actually do and their attack speed. But it's high, and they do extra versus armored, obviously. Third CC now coming down here for Moody, so he's stabilized and the aggression has stopped. So Cracks does have these links postured aggressively outside his opponent's front door, though. No third as well for him.
Why is he bringing the drone? This is really interesting.
Oh, yeah, there is a drone there.
He does not have lair, so he cannot drop creep to build spines, which is, by the way, if we're speaking of games you should watch, go watch NST versus any pro on dual site. Speaking of dropping creep to build spines, that was huge. Anyway, I shouldn't get caught up with such things. Anyway, the army is on the way here, so he's going to be able to get 2-2. There's Mule the Mule, as well as the third command center. So even though there is the third base on the lair on the way for Krex, I would argue that Mule the Mule is significantly ahead in both economy and tech right here, with being ahead in workers with the third command center going to be going down, having 3 mules at a time, as well as having 2-2 versus the evolution chambers just now halfway done.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't have 2-2, but he's going to be able to start
his stim is going to be very, very late, though. So, I mean, actually, to be honest, like if you can mech comfortably, I would go into mech from this point on, because, I mean, your stim is just going to be so late.
Well, you do have 1-1 for bio.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. But there's no additional racks being added, no stim being researched. I think this is really weird. He's getting a good count of tanks, though. He's almost got as many tanks as he's got marines.
It is a bit weird. He's floating at the command center right here without having any vision on the Zerglings, but it is, of course, one of the cons when going, or the disadvantages.
What is this? He's building 3 depots here.
Like he wants to wall. It's not a terrible position to wall, but it's too early for that, I think.
Yeah.
Without any Hellions, he's not really going to have map control, and he's actually moving out with all his siege tank now on siege. Imagine like 20 Zerglings and 5 roaches going into something. That would be just GG.
Imagine like 30 lings from half from each side. You know, like coming in at the same time. Would surround that and kill everything.
Wow, going for the planetary fortress though. This is...
Yeah, I mean, easy third base, I guess.
It is an easy third base. It's... well, I think he thinks that he's so far ahead when it comes to the economy and the tech, of course, with the +2/+2 on the way, so I think he feels comfortable with this.
Cutting a few economy corners. Little too early to do that, I guess. But, I mean, he is Moody the Mule, so we'll potentially see more coming out of him.
Yeah, and going for a huge amount of supply depots is actually, like, quite a waste of minerals. But he has to spend, like... What is that? He has 50 unused supplies, so that's like a couple of hundred minerals that he could have spent. Yeah, that's like 700 minerals that he could have spent on more barracks, because you're on 1 racks right here, but have a huge amount of supply depots that you don't need in the front here.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep making tanks, so he's pretty safe and going for the turrets as well.
Yeah, I mean, siege tanks, turrets, planetary. This third base is pretty much unbreakable with what Krex has right now. But, I mean... Now let's take it over to Zerg's perspective of things. He's got his third base up. His saturation is actually pretty good. Fairly even worker count between both of these guys. The Spire is also done, and 1-1 is just readying up right now for him. And we've got 6 Mutalisks in production, and the +1 flyer attack coming in as well. So these guys have both stabilized, and no weird oddities coming in here, and we're going to be falling into a pretty standard ZVT game.
Yeah, some good timing here for Krex. The big thing is, of course, that 2-2 is like about to be finished for Moody the Mule, and if that is followed up by 3-3, it's going to be such a scary timing. But is he still on 1 barracks almost 15 minutes in?
Yeah, that's why his supply is so low. Like he could be almost maxed. Probably could be maxed at this point if he had like additional racks. Now we see 5 additional ones being 6 additional racks being added in, but still no stim pack.
Wow. Yeah, and no combat shield.
This is the latest stim pack in the history of anything.
Pretty much. That is probably true.
I think.
I think you're probably right. A huge amount of, or like a big amount of Zerglings here for Crux being made actually, so you're staying on those 62 drones, not making any additional ones, having a big army of Zerglings over here. It's going to be able to do some counterattacks, and here the Mutas comes in actually. Is there even a turret at the natural base? And
no.
Wow, I just realized...
there's one.
Wow, there's a turret coming down, but yeah, some SCVs being sniped, and I just saw how low that command and actually, so could be a potential
but look,
snipe
attempt
for
at a
later.
counterattack here coming into the third base, but they're just going to be running into a solid wall of death and steel. There's nothing you can do here. Get
Absolutely, get out, Moody the Mule says.
Okay, look at that. This actually looks really cool.
Yeah, this looks like the campaign.
Yeah, a bit.
When you're like supposed to defend from the Zerg onslaught with just a wall and a huge amount of siege tanks and just holding out as a Terran player. So Moody the Mule is establishing third bases. It's going to be quite hard to take a fourth with this big wall in, but it's going to be safe from any big attacks. And oh, the turrets on the high ground here really like this. It's going to be able to get a couple Mutas. And
yeah, he's getting all of these turrets though, so that means no more anti-air defense. This third base is completely exposed. Marines are coming up into the main.
He's not splitting up his Marines at all. They're going with all of them on the same hotkey, thinking, wow, it's going for the planetary. It does have a huge amount of armor though, so I don't think it's going to be able to get it. But doing some damage to it, he's going to be able to snipe it later. Here comes all the Marines though, so Moody the Mule makes Krex get out of here. Anyway, Stim, concussive shells, and Combat Heal on the way, but 3-3 has not been started yet. Oh, there it is.
Okay, there we go. You jinxed it. Oh,
wow.
I don't know, maybe he heard you. But now we have 4th and 5th base being taken simultaneously for Krex, so he's going to be going up to huge Zerg boom in economy. 2-2 is coming out of him as well. He's still on lair tech. He could actually just go straight for a hive. He does have the infestation pit, and his opponent is extremely passive. He's not going to be wanting to move out before Stim, because I mean, on creep without Stim versus Banelings and stuff like that, no way.
I think that moving out about now and just putting some pressure on, making him a bit scared, then pull back and then go for the real attack when 3-3 is finished would be a good move.
Do you think so? Because I mean, versus Speed Banes on creep without Stim?
Well, I think you have so many tanks.
Oh, never mind. Stim just finished together with Combat Shield.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, you're definitely right, MrBadExample. He could go and hit very, very hard.
But I don't think he should commit until 3-3 is done. Anyway, the attack with the Mutas coming into the back here, getting all the turrets, and actually that is a huge amount of Mutas with +1 attack finished
that
as well.
CC is so low, he could get that.
He's going to get that though. The Marines are coming back from Moody the Mule, and he's actually pulling back his entire army, so Krex is keeping Moody home, which is a good move. But when 3-3 is finished, Krex is going to be in a tough position if there is a straight-up engagement, as he's not went for any additional upgrades on the Mutas. Oh, there we go, with the +2 attack, as well as pathogen glands being added, so he's going to go into Infestor.
I like this a lot. Going up to Hive as well, so he's going to be able to get additional upgrades, be able to get that the adrenal glands for those links, so they get really powerful. I mean, his upgrades are slightly behind his opponent, but I mean, he'll be at 2-2 versus 3-3, which is quite common in this matchup anyway. Needs more Banelings though. I'd actually really like to see Burrow, because I mean, there are a lot of choke points where the Terran army is obviously going to be moving through. And just like burrowing a set of Lings or of Banes can be very, very good. But now we have the Terran army moving up here on the right-hand side of the map, and Mutas once again coming in here, being very, very annoying, and they've done so much damage. 30 SCVs killed already.
A great positional play here from Krex is going to be able to kill a lot of workers here, but Moody is still on 61, so it's not going to be too big of a deal. Anyway, Moody is moving up to the top right base for Krex here, but the planetary might go down there with the Mutas actually. Let's see, no, the Mutas goes away from there, and we do see the Ultralisk Cavern on the way, as well as we have seen the Infestors being the Infestor tech being completed. Anyway, do we have the engagement here? No, we don't. Anyway, my point was going to be that this is the next evolution of Zerg army, is Infestor Ultralisk, but here comes this tick of Zerg with Zerglings and Banelings going in, but this is so many siege tanks, and people do not really build that many siege tanks.
This is a little Bomber-esque, because Bomber likes building tanks. And here we have Mutas coming in again. They're picking off 2 already. Pretty good. Not losing any Mutas yet. A big stim there on these Marines. You do not want to be doing that, Krex, right now. But yeah, it's a little Bomber-esque, as I was saying. You know, getting tanks. He likes doing that in this matchup. But now we have Banelings being caught out in the open here. He could potentially lose all of these. He needs to get a lot more Banelings for this. Pure Ling is not going to cut it. Not versus 3-3 Marines.
No, we do have one swarm host out there as well, which is a bit cute, going with the Locust there, but I think this is going to be the time for Krex, going with so many Zerglings. Is he going to commit here? Yes, now he goes into melee range with the Marines. He's going to be able to get a lot of them with a friendly fire from the siege tanks as well, and here comes the Mutalisks. It's going to be enough. He's kiting back from the Banelings, and so many Marines surviving this. The Mutas cannot engage that. We do have 3 Ultras on the way, though. That is his out here, right?
Yeah, that's definitely... He has to rely on those, but there is no chitinous plating done, I believe. No chitinous plating, still on 2-2 versus 3-3. This third base is coming under fire, hatchery might fall. And we still have Moody. He's actually rallying units across the map, but we have a counterattack here with these Mutalisks picking off medevacs who are just floating around in the air. They're not supporting this bio, and now triple drop coming into the main.
The Ultralisk doing a huge amount of damage to those Marines, and here comes 2 more, as well as a lot of Banelings. This army is going to get cleaned up for Moody, but he does, as you mentioned, have the triple drop in the main base. Could snipe the Evo Chambers, could snipe the Spy, could snipe the Hive. There's so much important tech here for Krex.
There's so much going on here right now. We have these Mutalisks in the middle of the map. They killed a lot of those medevacs. The Ultralisks, where the hell did they go? Okay, they're coming back in now to the third base. Main is definitely in the red, losing one of those evolution chambers. Queen dies. Every single drone is dead as well. All of his tech can just get annihilated, and that'll send him back to the Stone Age.
Absolutely. He does still keep his Hive, or, well, like, what went down was
okay,
really
the important tech is still there.
Yeah, the important tech is, well, the Evo Chamber would have been really good, but it's just so cheap and quick to remake, so it's not the biggest of deals. Anyway, with 3-3 bio out for Moody, I think Krex really has to go into 3-3 for himself, as well as the Curtain's plating ASAP, or get out some Infestus, because Infestus doesn't really care about the upgrades that much.
No, exactly. Right, both of these guys have stabilized. They've actually evened up his supply now, a lot closer than before. And Krex does have this base here just on the left-hand side of the map. He did lose his third base, but I mean, his economy is not super terrible. And there's still some mineral patches in his main which he could use. But he definitely would be looking to take additional bases once again. Moody has been actually macroing quite well, so he's kept his bank very low, but he's got a big count in medevacs, but actually very little bio under that.
Yeah, he did add 3 starpots when he moved out, so I thought we were going to see maybe a Raven transition or maybe even Banshees or Battle Cruisers. But he has been keeping these starpots naked, so... 3
Widowmines making their way across the map.
Oh!
They're going to get so much! Wake up, Krex! No!
Wow!
Okay.
Well, didn't actually do that much.
Okay, 5.
Well, that was somewhat anticlimactic.
Yeah, wow. My heart rate went up there.
Like, imagine that would have been 3 Banelings. That would have been a dead mineral line.
Yeah, that would have been game ending at this point.
Yeah, pretty much, because this is like Krex.
Fairly low econ for both of these. Yeah, his Nat is about to mine out. His main still have to. Okay,
but he's not mining in his main.
Dude, so. He has at least 1k minerals in his main.
Yeah, is he making drones though? No, he's making Ultras and Infestus, which means that he's probably want to go for
very powerful comp though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get out 7 Ultras with this, along with a couple of Infestus.
Oh my god. Doom drop galore. Here we go. Sign the horns, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Yeah, the big Doom drop for Moody.
Coming in to meet these guys.
7 Ultras and 2 Infestus will be able to kill this army. Well, along with the Muted supports, of course, because it's so Marauder heavy. But the Infestus are not here, and that means the Bio is just going to be able to kite the Ultralisk for days. But here the Mutus comes in. The Widowmines.
Oh, look at the damage from those Ultras.
Wow, just ripping through those Marauders, and I think Moody has to get out of there.
Yeah, but he can kill this third base anyway. He can get this third base, yeah. Unless the Mutalisks steal with the Bio falling out, and even the Swarmo's helping out here quite a bit.
It's like pure Marauder here, so the Mutas can engage, but it's so many Medivacs right here just healing away.
Oh my god.
The Ultras can come in, actually sniping one Ultralisk there, but he has to get out of there. Moody, you have to go home, but he has a big bang.
Rocket boost, rocket boost. Production. He's losing all of his Medivacs. You can't do that.
Yeah, he lost almost all of his medevac, but that's when he has 4 starpots as well as quite a big bang.
Oh wait, look, 2 oh my god, 2 Infestors for free.
And that was quite high energy on this. Oh, it's baiting into the Widowmines! Did not kill any of them though.
Oh, look at the minefield there, like on the inside of those depots. If that would have been 3, I would have just flipped. But now we have these Ultras as move commanding into their deaths.
Oh, that is terrible for Krex with so low economy, throwing away his only Ultralisks and Infestus there. That means his entire army is like 1 Swarm host, 11 Mutas and 4 to 6 Lings.
Yeah, that's like nothing. We have still no 3-3 coming out for Zerg players, and no Curtain's plating, no Adrenal Guns. Army making their way on the left side.
He's going to get a free base on the right side though, which is a good start to things. Going to get up some SCVs and a command center. So
yeah, but he doesn't know about the base on the left, far left.
Oh, he doesn't?
Oh, look, it's mined so much already. But he does get the TC, but now his base, his only mining base, is actually under threat right now. Or his only saturated base, and that's definitely going to fall. No way that's staying alive. But he's counterattacking very heavily.
Yeah, very Marauder heavy armor though for Moody the Mule, which is not the best when going up against Mules and Lynx, of course, but I think it's going to be fine if it just gets up a high enough medevac count, because medevacs are very good with Marauders since they have so high HP.
Yeah.
But here comes the Infestors with enough, and G4 Fungals, will they get one down?
Oh.
Huge Fungal! Will be able to go with the
everything.
Another Fungal, and here comes the Mules as well, going to be cleaning up this entire army, I thought, but instead of energy, no, it has additional Fungals. Why isn't he going for another one? There it is, somewhat missing, but the Mules will, of course, be able to clean up Marauders, and here comes the Lynx and an Ultra as well.
Yeah, so pretty good there, but he did lose that base, so that's not where you want to be. But now small group of buy, he's actually going to get this for, okay.
He's going to get the Ultra.
Yeah, very expensive, cannot replace those right now. And we've still got only Lings in production, and I mean, the moment Moody realizes that his opponent has run out of Ultralisks pretty much, he can just go pure Marine and kill everything.
Absolutely, but I think showing that Ultralisks could have been a good move for Crux, because it tells Moody that, yeah, I'm keeping making Ultralisks, but it's actually not, so...
Because I don't have money for it.
Well, maybe he can force, or like, make Moody make Marauders, but yeah, probably not. It's in a tough position. He's taking the base to the top right there, which is a good thing, and these Widow Mines are going to get down for free, I think, without getting a single shot off onto those Mutas.
You know, like, my heart is stops every single time I see Mutas, you know, coming close to Widow Mines. Jesus,
I get what you mean, absolutely.
Do you remember the game? Was it IEM? Where?
Which one?
Now, this one with the Zerg guy who lost like all of his Mutalisks into Widow Mines versus...
Oh, the one he like baited into the...
On Daedalus Point.
Oh, I remember.
There's a gif of that, like he loses 20 Mutas, like just like that.
Was it Hyun?
Was it Hyun?
I think it was Hyun. Wasn't he like the only Zerg at IEM?
Maybe.
I think it was like...
I don't remember all the names.
One Zerg, 2 turrets, and...
Yeah, but it was just like, oh my god, like, oh, the pain.
Have you seen the picture of like the big tournament winners in this year?
No, I haven't.
It's like not decided yet. Protoss. It's quite funny. Morrow linked to that with that one. So
losing 3 Mutas
shout out
there.
To Morrow.
Yeah, for you know, surviving good blink builds on Frost. Now we have these drones actually going for this base when he still does have about 1k minerals in his main and.
Isn't that many Marines there though? It's mostly Marauders. So
okay, one big fungal can end this army.
Oh.
Or 2 big fungals. One decent
big fungal is going to go in. No, he's not going to be able to commit. Let's have more fungal. Somewhat missed there.
Yeah, he needs to be so careful.
But I think Crux needs to defend this base.
Yeah,
he can't give it up for free.
No.
Or go for the counterattack. But
go. Okay, he's gonna. It's dead.
Yeah, he can't defend it now. Oh, not the best timing here for Crux, giving up base, but going for the fight afterwards. There goes the fungals down though. The Mules are really fighting for their lives here, throwing their glaives as quick as they possibly can. Here comes the Lynx, but there are just too many Medivacs here. 2 good upgrades. That's the GG from Crux.
Yeah.
Mule takes the game with his superior macro.
Yeah, it was very close at some points. And gonna throw it out there to both of these guys. Very well played.
Yeah, it was probably the best game.
So far, yeah, I enjoyed that game very much.
Yeah, anyway, we are now done with the casual leagues, and we are getting into the competitive leagues.
Damn right.
Which is going to be really interesting, and of course, as I've mentioned, last game of the day is Mecca against Madalisk.
So don't go anywhere, guys.
Not miss that.
Go and make a sandwich for the like when we get into a new game when nothing super special is going on. We talk about random stuff most of the time. So go and make a sandwich or something, because we've still got additional games coming up. Speaking
of making sandwiches, you should subscribe to the StarCraft League YouTube channel as well, which you're probably watching this on, so that we will be able to get money and make sandwiches of our own.
Yeah, we love sandwiches at the StarCraft League.
This is like Subway right over here. Which
yeah, we go there all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
That's our thing, you know, like...
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next game here is GRZ.
That's okay. That has to be a JRZ reference.
I don't think it's URZ.
No, but it has to be like paying his respects or something.
Maybe GRZ anyway. Jonas Rappu from Gothenburg playing Zerg, which is not what GRZ is doing, of course, but GRZ is playing Zerg here. Let's see who's going to be playing. Yeah, his opponent is Fiotis. I casted this guy last time, and this guy is really strong. So he goes to Linköping's University. Ooh, in this photo, I've been there. Oh yeah, me too.
Narcon.
Yeah, I've been there studying as well.
You're such a man.
I am.
Edvard Hubendick. But here we are, ladies and gents, coming into this game. Now it's going to be
the competitive tournament.
Is it?
And yeah,
wait,
it is.
I think our observers told me something. He said something. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, take it away.
I'm going to take it away here. In the top left corner of Frost, it's the red Zerg player GRZ.
Yes, and his opponent spawning in the color blue. Right-hand side on Frost. Actually, this is close by ground, so he's none other than Fiotis. And this is actually Casual Alpha, I was just informed.
Yeah, it's still the casual league, so we're going to get
I think we got too excited.
Yeah, almost did. We're going to get into the competitive leagues in a bit.
Yep.
Anyway, Fiotis, could you see, like, when he plays in GSL, the Korean voice name announcer?
Oh, do you want me to say it?
Yeah, on the Fiotis name.
Oh, God. That's difficult.
Yeah, I thought he would be a real difficult
LG Einen. Oh, God. No, that was a sponsor.
Fiotis!
SKT1. No, how do you say that?
SKT1. Fiotis!
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
They had some like American one later, or like English one was really terrible. It was so boring. But the Korean one is the best.
The Korean one is always the best. Do you remember when they had like the Street Fighter voice? Which was like
what
really...
year was that?
In GSL they had it at like some point for like one season, which was like super... Oh! Like really... It's almost sounded Japanese. I don't know. That was...
Oh god, I don't remember that actually. Damn, that would have been fun. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it was like...
The Korean voices are the best, you know?
I was like, I'm not sure if I enjoy this. Maybe. Anyway, it's a tournament versus Zerg Frost, and it is the 15 or the 12 gas for Fiotis, I think it was.
Yeah, 12-12.
So yeah, we're gonna be seeing a Reaper here, which is completely standard. Probably gonna be followed up by a second Reaper and a Factory, going for some Reaper Hellion pressure later in the game, but could also be going into straight bio. We'll see. Does he want to do something fishy with his CV here? Yes, he wants
to. I like this. I definitely like this. Being very aggressive already from the get-go. Now, what are your thoughts on this? You know, like some guys, they send both Reapers, and some send one and then leave one at home. I prefer leaving the one Reaper at home, actually. Yeah. You know, like, because if the Zerg manages to slip by with 2 or 4 lings, he can get a cancel on your CC.
Yeah, at least if you're building the command.
Yeah, but like, if that happens, that's just huge.
Yeah, it's really bad. Anyway, GRC is going to be able to spot out this bunker being completed. Let's see if Fiotis wants to go for another one. It's possible, but that would be a heavy committal, so no, he's not going to do.
Yeah, but he's already forcing 4 lings. Okay, 4 lings are standard, but he's forcing a spine now, which is pretty annoying here for our Zerg player, so that's pretty good. And now we have this Reaper making his way across, and he's going to be able to kill a ling, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
It's very annoying, and forcing more lings. This is so good. This kind of pressure, it's just, it doesn't hurt your economy anything, because you get those Reapers, you can just salvage the bunker, while it is just so frustrating for the Zerg to deal with. Because, I mean, look at how he has to commit to this.
Absolutely. He did not have his second Overlord at his natural, which is customary, which, I mean, you should pretty much do that to get vision. Anyway, here comes Zerglings, and he's actually going to be able to kill a couple of these. He should go out and salvage his bunker. Fiotis, you're not going to be able to salvage.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yes.
He's got
Is
it.
he?
He's got... Oh, he loses it!
No, he did not manage to salvage that. Wow. But did, as you said, force out a couple of Zerglings more for GRC. Anyway, GRC going up to 4 queens. I'm a fan of this on big maps.
Yeah, same. Get that, get good creeps. Now we have these Reapers coming in here. Gonna be able to get a drone or 2. No, almost. Almost. Okay, you have to be careful to not get trapped, because there are 2 queens that... So he could trap them with the drones. 3 queens
He's gonna get out here. Oh, he did kill 1 drone.
Yeah, he's gonna... Okay, they're dead. These Reapers are dead, because there's a spine.
He has to go on the high ground. Oh, that's...
Good night.
Oh, that's a big mistake. I think he could have saved both of them if he went up for the ramp, but... Yeah, I'm not sure anyway, because you have... Oh, yeah, you can't jump down there.
He shouldn't have committed so far into the mineral line.
So did he get 1 drone for 1 Reaper, I think it was?
Not worth it.
And maybe a Zergling or 2, so...
Not worth it.
Because now GRC can just build... I just saw 11 drones in the production tab, so yeah.
Yeah, but like not having both Reapers, like if you're going to follow up with Hellion Reaper pressure, just like it hurted so much. But now we have additional racks being added in here. No, wait, what? That's double engineering base, so we should see a 3rd CC coming down as well.
Yeah, Fiotis is going for somewhat of a weird variation. You would often add the 2nd and the 3rd.
The Mule wasn't binding.
What? Oh.
Now it is.
Okay. Not the biggest of deals, but somewhat.
Have you ever done this, you know, like you think you click the mineral patch when you drop like 3 or 4 mules? And then
like it's quite common that I try to press the mineral patch and I like miss, but I know I missed. So but then you like have to wait a couple of seconds to select the mule. So just sit there and spam and try to click the mule, but you can't do it for a couple of seconds when it's coming down. So
yeah, for me sometimes it happens to me like I know I missed. So, but then something happens and I completely forget about the mules.
Oh.
And like, why can't I macro? Because, you know, I play a lot of Terran. Like, I really like Terran. I think Terran is cool.
Terran is cool.
Terran is really cool. I love the macro mechanics of them, and like the way that you have to like take fights. But here we have Hellions coming in here. These Queens have so much damage versus Hellions. They're really good versus Hellions.
They're really good versus Hellions.
You know, the Queen buff, when the Zerg got their... the Queen's got like +2 range.
Yeah.
And like everyone were crying like, oh my god, you're just a patch now because you suck. But I mean, now obviously people have learned to deal with that. And
yeah, good. It actually has showed that Hellions are still quite decent. He is keeping making Hellions though. He has 7th and 8th Hellion being made, so this is quite interesting. You usually just go for the 6.
Yeah, he's committing to this quite heavily. No additional racks being added, no 3rd CC as well, so I'm a little confused to what he's actually up to.
Mining a lot of gas though, is up to 300 gas. There is the 3rd command center, but it's not going to be the classic, like, you can make the like Polt-ish follow-up to this, where you go for a Marauder drop and you just try to boost up with the Hellions and do a lot of damage directly, but looks like he wants to go for more, you could call it maybe the Bomber-esque double eBay, the command center quicken. Gets
doesn't commit as much to aggression.
Yeah.
But he's going to be able to just sit out here and deny any sort of attempts at a 3rd base here from a Zerg player. He's now getting a bunch of roaches, got 1-1 on the way as well, so I mean, he did actually not make too many lings after that initial bunker pressure, so probably Roach Hydra.
Yep. Well, you never know. Anyway, I don't like sitting on the creep as it did, and yeah, it's going up.
It's very uncomfortable, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if circlings come from an unexpected angle, you're pretty much going to die.
Yeah.
And circling around the edge of the creep, trying to kill creep
nice.
tumors like that.
Yeah, that's really annoying. That's so annoying for the Zerg. But I mean, he's got these Queens as well. They've got quite a lot of energy, and now finally these Hellions are going to be forced off the map. A bunch of roaches making their way across. Goodbye, Reaper.
Oh,
we'll see you in hell. He's going to go and meet his friend.
Oh yeah, they do say something about hell, right? There is like
line it's like, if you like click them a lot.
Yeah.
2 more bunkers being dropped down here for Fiotis, so he's a little paranoid here, seeing those roaches, you know, moving across half of the map. So he's a little scared, and he's even got a tech lab here on his factory. Is that for tanks, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's not impossible at all, seeing how many roaches he has made. Going against Roach Hydra, going for tanks is not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, that's true. Roach Hydra melts pure bio.
Yeah, well, it kind of depends on the upgrades and numbers and
concave.
So forth. Yeah, of course. But generally, yeah, if it's just a straight-up engagement, like Marine Marauder versus Roach Hydra is going to be in a good position unless the unit numbers become too high. Like if both players are maxed, then it's going to be better for the Terran. Anyway, I think I saw MedEvac. No, I didn't. Anyway, here the Hellions come in onto the creep. Are they going to be able to do any direct damage?
Ooh, they're getting past the Queen. Okay, they can definitely do damage. Here we go. And the drones are lining up.
Line him up. Oh,
so
he's
much
getting
damage.
a huge amount of drones there. Not the best focus fighting there. There are like 4. Oh, the last shot right there.
Oh, he's going to be able to clean these up.
No. Oh.
Okay, 15 drones went down there.
He could have killed like 19 as well because those are solo. But anyway, 15 workers killed.
Really
a lot
good.
Of value.
Really good. Those Hellions definitely paid for themselves there eventually.
And that just means that all of a sudden the worker count is pretty much even here, with just 5 ahead for GRC, who is going for the +2/+2 for the ranged as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what his unit composition of choice is going to be. We do not have a Hydralisk then yet, so
wait, it's there.
Oh yeah, it's there. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Getting muscular augments now. That is the Hydra speed, I believe.
That is the Hydra speed upgrade indeed. Let's see if he wants to go for a lot of Infestus, or if he actually wants to go Swarm Host with this. I do not believe Swarm Host is the best.
No, definitely not.
I think it's more of like you can go for Swarm Host if he's meching, but it's usually not going to be the best.
No, but no mech coming out of Fiotis. He's actually making a bunch of tanks here. 3rd base has not been dropped down yet, and now we have him moving out finally. He does have 2-2 almost done together with the set of medevac, so he could actually go and if his opponent is not ready for this attack, he can actually do a lot of damage, because very few units out here, and even though he's got a couple of Hydras coming in here, I think this bio with 2-2 is just going to be too powerful, and he'll be able to overpower his opponent's small army right now.
Yeah, I did mention that the Zerg player with the Roach Head is going to be comfortable in small army numbers, but as long as 2-2 is on the Terran side but not the Zergs, I think Terran is still going to be in a good position. Anyway, 2-2 is finishing it up right there for the Terran, but the Zerg is just going to have it on the way. And a nice Overlord denial here of the 3rd base for Fiotis.
Yeah, very annoying.
And the creep takes a long time to go away. I mean, that's going to take quite a while until he can get onto that. Anyway, 4th base for GRC as well, so a lot of powering up for the Zerg.
We have a long game ahead of us, I believe.
Yeah, and it's going for Hive as well, so...
Okay, so this is really good. The position he's coming up here now, behind this 3rd base, Okay, it's actually not down to mining, but I mean, you can hit a lot of SCVs from the high ground here. So, this medevac is going to get sniped. Goodbye.
Wow.
She lost her pilot's license. Because she died.
Wow.
Big stim
anyway,
of
wow, he's actually going for the fight here up the ramp. I think he's going to be okay with this, but...
Bio is so good.
Yeah, Bio is pretty good with 2 upgrades, but I mean, it wasn't the best concave for Fiotis anyway. He was able to take that fight, so he's probably fine with that. He's going into siege tanks as well, so had 2 of them
already.
down there. Oh, has 3 and a 4th one on the way.
Adding it now, just continuing to macro up. No 3-3 started yet for him, though. I mean, he could... he should definitely save some gas for that, I feel, because I mean, when you have 3-3 over 2-2, okay, so +3 attack starts here for the Terran. 3-3 started now for Zug as well, so he's actually going to be ahead in upgrades. And now we have tanks sieging up here from this 4th base, drop coming in here towards the main. Never mind.
No, he's just going to.
You have tanks attacking the 3rd base from the high ground. Why don't you drop the main, man?
Yeah, it would be a good move, I think. Anyway, this just wants to do some additional damage onto the base here. 3-3 is on the way for GRC. And I would love if he would go for Spire and go for the upgrade and just go for Broodlords eventually.
Oh yeah, dude,
which is it's extremely good when you are forcing opponent to make Marauders and siege tanks.
Yeah, and now we have the drop coming in the main, by the way. But small number of roaches coming into the natural, but they're gonna die. Drop coming in now, and he does force the workers off the mineral line, but he's forced to lift up, and these roaches get cleaned up. Outside the natural of Fiotis, who's now safely secured his 3rd base with 2 bunkers above the high ground even. Cute move.
Yeah, interesting positioning of these bunkers. I would also enjoy a sensor tower somewhere
that's right.
there.
Sensor towers are so good.
Sensor towers are pretty good. They are somewhat expensive, but I think he would be able to afford this.
How much are they?
It's like 150, 100, I think.
Really? Oh yeah, that's pretty expensive.
It is. Anyway, 2 factories on the way as well here, so probably wants to go, maybe make 1 reactor for Marines and the other ones with... siege tanks, but there's Vipers on the way as well for GRC, but I think, as I mentioned, the Greatest Spire would be so huge right here if Fiotis commits even more to siege tank production, which it looks like it is, because Broodlords, of course, are so good against siege tank. Not only can the siege tank not kill them, but the siege tanks are going to kill their own army.
Yeah, and then also, like, when a Terran has siege tanks, they generally play less of a mobile style, because I mean, they rely so much on protecting. They need the tanks for protection, and they also have to protect the tanks. Which means that there's going to be less, super aggressive stimming forward and stuff like that, and sacrificing armies because he wants to keep the tanks alive. I guess it sort of changes the mindset of how you play, right?
Absolutely.
It's like a Protoss with Zealot Archon over like with Colossi. But here we have the Blinding Clouds coming in there, covering 2 of those tanks. Not the best. Oh, okay, never mind. It's actually covering every single tank. So no tank support now. All of this bio is just getting annihilated on top of creep.
Yeah, going really far up onto that creep was quite an offensive move here for Fiotis, and GRC is 43 supply ahead. I think he can go on the offense here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He can go and kill that 3rd base.
Wow, and 3-3 is going to be complete momentarily here for GRC, but 3-3 is not going to be done for Fiotis, or +3 attackers, but not +3 armor. So 3-3, when it's going to be done, there it is completed for GRC. So I think he can go on the offense here, but it depends. Like, if Fiotis has great siege tank positioning on the defense, it's going to be real difficult as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've even got these additional factories pumping out more tanks. He's going to make building 3 at a time. And like 2 tanks, 3 tanks supporting to defend this 3rd base. It's difficult to commit in, especially with bio support.
So he did go for the 3rd tech lab as well on the factory?
Yeah.
So triple siege tank, okay.
Yes, sir. Double Spire coming in here now. MrBadExample, we might have Broodlords. I hope we have Broodlords coming in.
Mutas wouldn't be completely terrible, but I think Broodlords would be even better.
Yeah, and maybe like big Muta switch for the late game. Like, you know,
maybe just have that as a backup plan.
Once you've got a bank, force a base trade. Now we have double medevacs making their way down here towards the 5th base, which is very exposed. And the Zerg army are very big, very scary. But yeah, they're both just posturing around the center here. And now Fiotis is moving out. He's going to be looking to... we could actually see some tanks getting abducted. This base gets dropped, so that's going to die.
Oh, but
here we
that's
go.
A big engagement in the middle of the map here. Would you have GRC going in and is forcing Fiotis to run away with these blinding clouds? He's going to get additional siege tanks here. I think that is not where you want to siege up. He doesn't have, but you can't go up. That is such a tight ramp. You can't go up there with Roach Hider because the units are so big. You can't go up there. And when Fiotis has the double drop towards the 3rd base and the 4th base, wow, great harassment
so many workers right now.
GRC's down to 59 works, and he's going to get the 4th hatchery as well. Let's see if he can get the 3rd hatchery on top of this. No, it looks like GRC is going to be able to come back in time. But anyway, down to 3 bases right here is GRC. Not in the most comfortable position.
He's seeing the double spy, seeing the greater spy as well. So finally now he knows what his opponent's up to. But that was a brilliant move from our Terran player. Beautiful, beautiful.
Very beautiful indeed. We can see entire moments go. Oh, and there's a drop in the main base as well. Fiotis is everywhere right now.
He kills the infestation pit in the Alinatreal as well. He's all over the place right now. JRC can't handle this.
Yeah, I mean, Fiotis is in a great position. And it just goes to show that when you have siege tanks in a good position defensively and has positioned your bunkers correctly, walling off your defenses, Terran is extremely hard to break.
Are going to get killed. He'll just abduct that. Yeah, there we go. Whoop. That was a bit sad.
Yeah, there we go.
You're like flying with your medevac, and then suddenly there's like this air barrier. You can't get anywhere.
That must indeed suck.
Yeah, that must definitely suck. Like, so those guys were not going home. Now, 4th and 5th base being re-established here from JRZ.
How many corruptors is there?
Let's see.
We're going to be having 8 corruptors. So if he gets 8 broodlords, he can really push offensively and try and go for the finish.
He could siege up on that 3rd base, but now we have siege tanks sieging up here in the middle by the tower.
No,
be careful.
Oh, the Reapers or the Vipers is not doing anything in this fight. Here comes Roaches and the Hydras,
oh
but
my God.
We need to see Blinding Clouds. Wow, you can just see there was only 3 siege tanks, but it just obliterated all the Roaches with the bonus damage to armor.
That's the firepower of a Terran army, guys. I feel like you need to be very careful when engaging a Terran.
I think he could have went for the Blinding Clouds there if he would have been really on top of things.
Yeah, but like he didn't. He wasn't like microing those. So he took huge losses there. And now falling down to 170 supply. But this is, I guess it's not too bad. But he does not have an amazing mineral bank right now.
The Broodlords are complete though. He has the tech advantage.
7th Broodlord on the way. Broodlord, Roach Hydra, and Vipers. This is a pretty powerful army. But,
I mean, ideally you would want to Festus with this as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But look, okay, so his economy isn't actually good.
No, it isn't.
It's really bad. There's no bank. So if he loses his army, it's game over. But here we go. The Broodlords have been revealed, and they are connecting in. There's a single Viking here. No Vikings in production right now for our Terran player. He needs to deal with a single Viking.
Fiotis is forced to run away, though, so he has to go home, unsiege his tanks, and do GRC want to chase here? Because when tanks are on siege, they are not doing so much against a huge army of Roaches and Hydras.
No.
But the Broodlords are just so slow. You can see right here that they are not able to keep up. Let's see if he just wants to siege up here. Yes, he wants to hold this position between his 3rd and 4th base.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things go now. They're actually unsieging, so that was a very tense moment right there. Now the Broodlords are connecting a little bit with the Spire, but as we can see, these Broodlings are not doing too much damage because he does not have the melee upgrade. So, okay, Blinding Cloud's going down here. This is actually a really interesting move. It's like dropping, Time Warp, so your opponent doesn't walk into it, to sort of like, I guess, to zone him out. That was really cool, if that was what he was like trying to do with that. But, yeah. Nonetheless, these Broodlords are chipping away at this.
Fiotis is going for the counter-attack, though, at the 4th base. There's a big army right here. With all his siege tank, he realizes the tanks are going to be like pretty much useless in this fight versus the Broodlords, so he goes with the offense of them as well. And here comes the huge stim. He's going to go for the Broodlords. Wow, where is the Roaches and the Hydras? All the Broodlords are going to go down.
Oh my God, this is so
big.
Losing every single support unit for his army. Okay, he's keeping 4 of these alive, but now the concave is huge here for Fiotis. He's just going to be annihilating all of these Zerg forces. Good night, there's nothing you can do about that. The 4th base has fallen, and right now, JRZ is in a terrible position, making 13 additional corruptors, but I mean, there's barely any money to make any Broodlords out of that, and Bio is just so cost-effective.
Yeah, pure Corruptor is not going to be any good versus this at all. Let's see, like, what he wants to do right here.
Down to 1 Broodlord.
Well, yeah, 1 Broodlord is pretty good. But it's not going to be able to kill like 20 Marauders.
And he's going to lose all of these drones as well. And like Marauders kill bases so quickly, so he could just focus out the hatchery as well if he does do that. And he's even attacking the 5th base as well with another group of Marauders. And right now, this game it's Fiotis' game to lose.
Absolutely, that was a brilliant move. I think we should mention that once again, because getting up with the siege tank to that base there, GRC kind of panicked and sent all of his army over there.
Yeah.
Which means that the Broodlord, because they're so slow, got caught behind. So Fiotis could just stim in and kill them and force the fight where the Roaches and Hydras was kind of in a bad position. So Fiotis, as you said, I think it's his game to lose right here. 64 works to 37, 175 supply to 99.
Yeah, it's not a good day to be Zarg. I really like this move, by the way. He was moving around the map with his Marauders looking for hidden bases, which is really keeping, even cleaning up this Macarat. A lot of Broodlords, no, I mean, a lot of Corruptors, but I mean, like I said, no money to make Broodlords out of that. he can't actually afford another hatchery.
Wow, that is a big, big deal because is he actually mining right now at all?
Barely. He's mining from these 2 patches in his natural. There are 3 patches in the main as well. Let's see,
we just compare the income. It's 240 minerals a minute to like 2,000 for Fiotis, so almost 10 times more income for the Terran right here. He's actually going up to the 5th base as well and dropping mules happily on his 4th. So, I mean, these corruptors, they are just going to be pretty much worthless. Well, like, maybe I'm going to be able to kill the Vikings, but Stim Marines going in under that and focusing them down is going to be such a tough position right here anyway. He wants to poke in with the Broodlords, but the Viking count is quite large. You know how many Vikings we do have here for the Terran player? Anyway, 9. Here comes the fight. 9 Vikings versus 8.
But like, even if he cleans up this, the Bio is just going to be able to stim right under everything, just like we see right now, and he just goes in, he does not care. Every single Broodlord falls. Even if the Vikings fall, there's nothing, and these Hydralisks have nothing to say against these guys, and GG is called.
Wow, just melting through that entire army. Yes, he went for the interesting unit composition with the Roach Hydra into the Broodlord, of course, but wasn't the most successful in that game, with Fiotis just out-positioning him pretty much.
Yeah. So a beautiful game there from our Terran. I really like the moves he was doing, like multi-pronging all the time. Actually, really good multitasking, so throwing it out there, so if you're watching,
if you want to play Terran, you better have good multitasking.
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely. Anyway, this is the University StarCraft CouchCast number 3 of this season.
Season 3.
This is the StarCraft segment. We have had 4 games so far, and there's going to be 2 more. First, it's going to be Jojo versus Lipstick, and the last game is going to be Mecca versus Madalisk, of course. After that, we'll be following Hearthstone.
Yes, sir.
So
the game of, have you prayed to RNGesus?
I have not today, actually, so
I
better not play.
Same. I pray too little. But here we go. Now, player presentation. Johan Andersson, very Swedish name. Jojo.
Jojo?
Mittuniversitetet. I have no idea what that is.
The middle university, which is in Sundsvall.
So
it is
up north.
No, it's actually geographically, it is in the middle of Sweden. Like
from us, it's up north.
Yeah. When you like look at where people are actually living, it's also up north. But compared to where other people are living,
he's Protoss. He is best race.
Yep, he has done a good job of choosing his race. Anyway, his opponent here, Simon Nyverinen, Lipstick from Stockholm, and he's playing Terran. So
another cool race. I think my favorite races are like Protoss and Terran. So, introductions, here we go. This is Jojo. He's spawning in the color red. Oh, look at that clan icon. What is that?
It's like something like an anime.
Yeah, I guess. But he's wearing the color red. He is TYSM's Jojo.
It is. And in the top right here, it's from Clan Fluff, the blue Terran Lipstick.
Yes, sir. Oh, so these guys are just friendly banter. Now, okay, we're on Habitation Station. Would you 2-rax? Habitation Station.
I would always 2-rax.
Yeah, 2-rax is sick. Dude, I 2-raxed a guy like the other day on this map.
You mean like 1111?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also did like 2-rax Reaper. And
there is also the secret
TBZ.
build, you know.
Which one?
My build on District Sense.
Your build. Oh!
So there are a lot of different 2-raxes you can do.
Oh, that's probably the most embarrassing game I've ever lost in my life.
So guys, I actually beat him.
Yeah, MrBadExample has beat me like 2 or 3 games.
Yep,
and I think I've beat
like a couple of times.
I've beat MrBadExample probably 50 million times.
Wow. But we're just talking StarCraft here. So.
Yeah, in Hearthstone though, we've never played each other in Hearthstone.
What? We have played each other a lot of times. Times.
No,
don't you remember?
Really?
When we did like the playtests with the UniSL, I beat you like.
Oh yeah, you like 7-0'd me or something.
Yeah.
Stupid RNG.
You didn't pray enough?
I didn't pray enough. Guys, remember that. If you you should build a shrine in your living room, set up a photo of David Kim and all of the other Blizzard guys, and then just like pray.
Pray that he will change the game according to your...
Yeah, apparently, what's his name? Ghostcrawler, who used to work for Blizzard, is now with Riot, I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Is he balancing?
Not sure if it's like balancing or design or something like that.
What is he doing? Ghostcrawler.
I don't know if he like does game design.
Like we decided to change the priest class. Or something like that. Yeah. Nothing super like non-standard going on. We see like Lipstick going for that fast react. Oh, wait, what? Okay, never mind.
Fast tech lab.
That's interesting.
This is interesting indeed. Probably just going to be seeing a Marauder as well as concussive shells and do some aggressive micro.
Yeah, exactly. Like concussive Marauder stuff. And here, yeah. Oh my God, your reads are so sick.
Wow. This is an old school build.
Yeah, very.
And it is really good if you cannot micro your opponent. But with the addition of the Mothership Core, of course, onto the Swarm, it has fallen out of flavor a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Mothership Core is flying, Marauders don't shoot up, and yeah, you know, common logic. But now we have a Stalker being crowned out here, and Jojo is actually going to be going for a 1-gate expansion build, and this is probably going to be able. This holds a lot of damage potential, but it's definitely going to come down to that micro, as you've been saying.
And we do have a Lipstick, not of course going for any big all-in or anything. Here does go for the commands as a follow-up to this.
Yeah.
And we has been making Marines here, so
okay.
So he's doing that to be able to afford the commands, of course.
I think it was like that he wanted to do this attack, and then he scouted, because I mean he did see the Nexus go down, so he was sort of like, nah, he's probably going to get the Mothership Core, so I'll just like not go through with this attack.
Yeah. Did he finish concussive shells?
Yeah, he did though.
Okay, so it is an interesting build.
Cheap upgrade.
It's like if the Protoss does something weird, I can just win straight up, and if it doesn't, I'm just going to be a slight bit behind. So
yeah,
it's not a terrible build at all. So we see a Robo coming in after the expansion for Jojo, which is. Would you say it's standard on this map compared to something like a Twilight Council?
Yeah, Robo, absolutely. Probably the best way to play things like. You could go for Stargate, but most Terrans are generally quite good at holding that off nowadays, because I mean they've just suffered through so many proxy Oracle builds and stuff like that. And you're like, so getting a turret in like good time. We even see now we have the engineering bay even being added, because I mean when you go for an expansion like this, any additional sort of prototype will be delayed significantly, which means that you can sort of get a late engineering bay to fend off any sort of Oracle builds or anything like that. So
Jojo went for Robo into double gate though, so this probably signifies some aggression, I would say, because often because if you just want to defend, you can get away with the Forge earlier and just going for sitting on the 1 gate for a longer time. Am I right?
Yeah, you could do that. Definitely.
So does he want to be aggressive with this?
It's difficult to say. I think that he's just going to sit back, kind of, not put on too much pressure, build a strong economy, and then yeah, he's getting a sentry. So this is, I feel this is very defensive. But he's probably going to sit back, wait, start taking towards Colossi.
I think this is a bit too much if you just want to be defensive. Getting the 3rd gate as well as making the 2 zealots.
It's not terrible, yeah. But now we have the Robo Bay come down. Yeah. I'd go for quicker gas and then like get 3 sentries instead, and rely on that for defense, and then like cut the gateways, sort of.
Yeah, so let's see if the observer has made its way over there. So
these guys. So if you guys are watching, or if you're going to watch the VOD, you're being casted right now. So hold your horses, ladies. But anyway, double gas now being taken in the natural.
The observer went down though.
Oh, it did? What? Did he scan?
I'm not sure, I didn't catch it, but we see no observer on the unit tab, and I'm extremely sure that there was an observer. Can you check the missile turret if it has any kills?
He did.
In the natural?
No, a Marine probably got it.
Yeah.
Clicking all the Marines.
So yeah, was able to pick up the observer, which is quite important, as I don't think he has remade an observer.
No.
And he really wants
straight for the Colossi.
Yeah, he really wants to use the Robo time for Colossi right here. So
and the gas.
No observer is always going to be quite troublesome if the Terran is able to get some aggression out here, because when the medevac timing inevitably comes, which it is going to, you really want that observer.
Yeah, and I mean, with no observer on this map specifically, you've got so much airspace in the center of the map, and you'll be susceptible to drops. You know, like you want to cover that with visions, you'll be able to respond, because I mean, there are no cannons, there are no stalkers at home to defend a drop. Now, the medevacs are going to be late, but I mean, he doesn't know that, so, you know. Yeah,
anyway, the army for Lipstick is moving out here. He's taking a position outside Judge's natural.
Yeah, this is dangerous, very dangerous. Because I mean, if Judge moves down this ramp with his Colossus, 5 Zealots, and the 6 Zealots even, and the Sentries, he could just trap all of this by and kill it up.
I think a second Colossi just was complete, right? No, it's just the one.
Yeah, there's supply
blocked.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, now
but he slimmed up with 1 Marine and saw the Colossi, so now he knows what's going on and he's pulling back. Goes for the 3rd base, adding 2 additional barracks as well as the starport. I think these barracks, this might be premature, as you probably would want a 2nd starport quite soon when you see such a heavy command. Well, still, it could be just the 1 Colossi fake out, so you're never sure.
Yeah, I mean, but like drop a scan, see if there's a 2nd Colossus, maybe like look up, because I mean he did commit to that range.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're going to make a tech switch, then you definitely you don't want to do it. But
oh,
big
he's
Steve coming up.
Gonna go for
Watch
it.
the force fields, Lipstick. You need to be
Oh,
careful.
look at the Colossus HP.
Oh, so close.
He just scanned, right-clicked the Colossi and was so close to be able to gun that down. And if that would have happened, that would have been like close to GG there.
Yeah.
Lipstick would have been able to finish almost, as he has actually +1 attack done as well as the relevant infantry upgrades. But here comes the second Colossi.
Third one on the way. Charge started. +1 attack right around the corner for a Protoss player.
Absolutely.
So he's getting into a good position.
Judge is holding right here. Lipstick has a second stop on the way finally.
Okay, that's thank God, finally.
Yeah, finally, with the 2 medevacs on the way as well. So it's always an interesting judgment call when you are playing as a Terran versus a heavy Colossi composition. If you want to build medevacs or Vikings, because you really want both of them. Like, Vikings are really good, but also a bunch of medevacs was going to be great. Anyway, some harassment coming in here for Judge with 3 sellers to an unguarded menu line with 2 mules just dropped. These mules are going to go down without even returning minerals a single time.
And he's getting the third one as well. He focused those down really nice.
Wow, really well done.
You want to be doing that. You know, like, you come in, it's better to kill those mules, because that mineral, that income boost. But now anyway, this does get cleaned up. He does not know about the pylon though, and okay, he's whooping in 6 additional zealots to go harass here. The army here is moving across the map, but our Terran player does see this. Let's see how many Vikings does he have. He's got no Vikings. No Vikings in production. There's nothing to combat these Colossi directly.
And Lipstick stimmed his entire army, so his medevacs are going to be completely out of energy right there. Stim his entire army for those 3 zealots.
Zealots coming into the third base, killing every single SCV.
Judge is playing this so well, force filling off the ground.
Okay, but the flank.
Yeah, without observers, he doesn't know that this flank is coming from behind here. And he's stimming in with his entire army. He's going to be able to get the zealots are in such a bad position.
Back there.
Wow, saves the Colossi though. Will there be any force fields coming down? He does have like 4 or 5 force fields left, I think.
He's going for the throw. He can just move right up into the natural. We might have a base trade. We might have that on our hands, but we have 6 sentries being warped in here at home at the Protoss base. Additional Colossus on the way as well, but now he's breaking into the natural of the Terran, and he's just wreaking havoc everywhere. All the command centers are lifted up, even in the main.
The mothership core is home though for the Protoss, right?
Is it? Yeah,
there is. Okay.
Okay, force fielding alarm, but there are 2 medevacs, but he can't get too much up. He'll need to like elevate everything. There we go. 2 medevacs filling up here. They're going to be dropping right on top of these sentries.
No charge.
No additional force fields. 1, 2. Okay, they did not hit the mark. Natural is cleaned up here for our Terran. And while we have Jojo at 130 supply here, this Nexus is going to get focused down.
All these units are so low, and the medevac's almost out of energy. There comes the Colossi as well. Is it going to be gunned down here by the Marauders? Yes, it looks like it is going to. And Lipstick is going for the main base here. Actually going for the snipe on the
getting
pylon.
the closest pylons.
Oh, not
never mind.
So much of an auto pylon there, but it's actually supply blocking Judges, so that is
no more gateway production. Anti supply blocked. Getting that robo as well. The main is dead, and I mean, Jojo should have actually moved home a lot earlier at this point, because I mean, he needs to save his arm. He needs to save his base.
Yeah, what's important in these kind of base trade situations is always how big the bank is and if you get out any probes. Let's see, are there any SCVs alive for the Terran? Do you know that? No SCVs, but we do have a command center or 2 and a lot of minerals, but it's going to be supply blocks.
Okay, but oh my God, MrBadExample, there are no depots, so you can't actually drop any extra supply down on them. So you'll need to sacrifice army to be able to get
a lot of army.
Yeah, 37 supply to 108 supply right now. Does not look too good for the Terran, but he'll be able to kill the entire main base of his opponent at least.
But Lipstick allowed those probes to get out, and this means that Judge has been throwing down an additional 2 bases. And while having the Widow Mine there in the middle of the map, I do not believe we have an observer for Judge. So having Widow Mines out versus no detection and no ability to make additional detection is going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, he's got 3. There's 2 in the main, and 1 in another weird position. So he kills the Nexus in the main and gets out of there. And now the Protoss army is back, but we have 41 probes to 0 SCVs. And
I think,
yeah, this is I don't see Lipstick coming back from this.
Double Stargate from Judge. Wow. That is in the bottom left.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That is an interesting call, to say the least.
Yeah, but we have Lipstick dropping now in at the gold base. He's going to start muling up that. Probes finding one of the command centers.
I think killing off like 5 of your own units to make your SCV is going to be worth it for Lipstick. Let's see if he wants to go for
because I mean, he did
need to start mixed supply depots.
Yeah, he did retain the production facilities. Every single one, actually. Saves the starport, the factory, all of his racks. So he could maybe get back into this, but the Protoss army is actually huge. Very well upgraded with charge and +2 Colossus, you know.
I think Lipstick needs to kill off his units because the Protoss is going to be able to stabilize and build up another army here with the air tech as well. But Lipstick is not going to be able to make anything but just mine minerals with muons, which is a good thing. But you already have a huge bank, it's not minerals that you need. Here's a double drop gonna come in. It's actually gonna kill off this first proxy pylon before that. Let's see if we...
Yeah, there we go. He's killing some marauders for himself right now. So he's leaving up 2 supply, and there we go. Double SCVs in production. By the way, Phoenix now being produced here for our Protoss. So he's not going to have anything of that. No dropping and stuff. He'll be able to hunt down those medevacs. Looking at the unit counting station, 11 Marines and 4 marauders. There are more zealots than there's bio.
Yeah, that's never a good thing. Phoenix is here with +1 attack for air.
Ooh,
actually,
interesting.
very interesting.
That's cute.
As well as a zealot harassing down in this base to the bottom right. So Lipstick's in a terrible position. Oh, he's going to lose this SCV as well. So one zealot getting a lot of value there. Let's see if the Phoenix...
It doesn't even finish that depot.
I think the Phoenix wants to just search for buildings floating and search for medevacs, of course. So.
Yeah, you could also just get a full scout, because I mean, there's no way that Lipstick could contest this. He's now moving towards the space, though, which is very exposed. But there are Phoenix here, they'll be able to kill these medevacs very easily, and there's even enough energy on this mothership core to just recall the army to that nexus. So he'll have to be on his toes and not lose anything here.
Yeah, here he goes though. Oh, there's the
recall.
Instant recall. Oh, he keeps dropping.
Yeah,
Lipstick, you're not watching your army. Yeah, that's his GG. Wow. Lipstick was not watching his army there, and there's the GG. Georgia takes that game after well-executed 2-base attack, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick game. Oh no, not too quick, but got fairly one-sided there. But I thought Lipstick could potentially bring it back, but I mean, he was just making a couple of mistakes there that sort of cost him the entire thing there eventually.
Yeah, and with that said, that has been our first 5 games out of the way. Now there is only 1 game left.
Final game,
what is that game?
Gentlemen. Oh,
Lucas?
Let me check. I think it's going to be, what's their names? It's going to be Team Properties Mecca versus Team Millennium's Madalisk. But here we have him, the first gentleman in this matchup.
Yeah, there is Mecca, Alexander Jonsson from Uppsala playing the Protoss race, and of course a great player, probably my favorite to take home this entire season. He has been going for the he's been close to qualifying for WCS. He lost to Wellmo in the last rounds, I think.
Yeah, Wellmo is pretty difficult. Good PvP.
Yeah, and Mecca has been playing really, really well in a lot of online tournaments, in DreamHack Opens and so forth. So I am really excited to see what he can bring out in this game.
Good to hear. I like getting those updates from you. And now his opponent, here we have Madeleine Leander, Madalisk from Stockholm University. She is Zag, as everyone knows, probably one of the most prolific esports profiles in Sweden.
Yeah, probably one of those. Yeah, she's really well known in the Swedish esport community.
Even outside. But now we go.
We go into
Mecca.
rain.
And
yeah, somewhat of BM banner coming out there in the chat.
Yeah, I have to go. MrBadExample. Deep breath.
It is
spawning on the southern position. Spawning in the southern position here on Heavy Rain, the final game of University StarCraft CouchCast number 3. He is wearing the color red, fighting for team property. He is none other than Mecca.
And his opponent in the top right-ish position.
Top leftish?
Top leftish, of course. On Heavy Rain. It is from Team Millennium, the champion of University Star League Season 1. One of Sweden's most prolific Zergs. She is Millennium's Madalisk.
Those introductions were so good.
Yeah, now it's serious.
Property, Mecca.
Millennium Madalisk.
Yeah. That was really good.
It was really synced.
Oh, dude, so good, so good. We should work for GomTV. We should actually work for GomTV.
Yeah.
When Autosis and Tasteless retire, we should.
Or when they enjoy playing with cards more than actually playing StarCraft.
That's true. Yeah. They need someone to come and take over. Carry the flag.
I think they do.
And like, if we come all the way from Sweden, they'll be like, oh, you're like the same country from.
So you have to be good at StarCraft.
Oh, like mini Korea, heard her.
Oh yeah, mini Korea, of course.
That's what they say, right?
I don't think so.
I think I've heard that.
Like Koreans saying that?
No, not Koreans, but like people.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, maybe people.
I'm gonna ask that guy. I have to tell you guys about this. We have a guy called. I actually don't know his name. Because it's super Korean, and they have like a lot of double names. But he's been working with Kesper. And he's going to be working with us this summer at QCon, June 20th to 22nd in Ireland, actually.
Ireland.
Yeah, that little island. We've got a Kesper admin, or Kesper guy, who's going to be working with us, adminning our tournament. And that's so cool, because he's there, he's studying English. Like, why the hell would you go to Ireland to study English? You can go to, like, land of the free, home of the brave, or you can go to the best country in the world, England.
Or Sweden.
No, Sweden is terrible. We have Sjöstrand.
Anyway, I think Mecca is going to win this game.
Do you think so? You calling it?
Just look at the builds. Gateway Expand versus 3 hatch before pool.
Yeah, but like 3 hatch before pool, you can be super. If Madalisk just knows how to defend, easy peasy.
Like, couldn't Mecca just like thrown down 3 gates and win the game?
Do you know what he could do? Like the moment you identify that, you just chrono a zealot right away, send it over, and try to get like 2 zealots mothership core, and then you expo behind this pressure because it forces so much from the Zerg, and it's just like ridiculous.
But he goes for the defensive play, even though he has probe scouted and identified what Madalisk is doing. So it's a bit weird for Mecca. I don't get why he's scouting if he doesn't adapt his build to what he sees.
Maybe he's like Rain, you know, like he doesn't give 10 shits. He just goes.
But why is he scouting if he like is not going to adapt?
Oh yeah, that's true. What are your thoughts on those kind of players? You know, like they just do their thing and they just like.
It's really cool.
I'm gonna kill you at this time, and until then, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah. No matter what you do, I'm gonna kill you at this time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like those players, they're stone cold killers.
Like
really
show.
Cool.
That's exactly what you meant, right? Yeah, it was. Anyway, we do have the Stargate tech here for Mecca, so that might be his adaptation. He sees that these 3 bases are not going to be connected by creep for a long time, because they are so far away from each other. So going for the Oracle, I presume, probably 1 Oracle into Phoenix, what would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, that would be a really good way to play out. The Oracle could definitely punish this early 3rd base. Even though there's a Queen, you can just sort of just ignore that. 3 gateways being added as well, going up to 3, I mean.
Wow, this is interesting pressure.
So, yeah, he's getting these sentries as well. You, move out with a bunch of Zealots. With these 2 sentries, you make 3 Zealots, and then you move out with an Oracle. You can definitely go and do a lot of damage, because, I mean, Zealot, Sentry plus Oracle just cleans up Lings so easily.
Yeah, but he's making the Phoenix, which I think that if he went with the Oracle and with the Zealot attack at the same time, he could have done a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's also another very powerful timing, very powerful attack. Phoenix, Zealot Sentry supported by Phoenix. You pick up Queens, you pick off Overlords, pick off especially versus Roaches.
Yeah.
You can just pick those up. But versus it's harder to fight versus Mass Ling, but you still have the benefit of the force fields, and the Zealots are just good versus Lings in general. So I mean, it's generally a good attack. Just
Madalisk is making the Spore Crawlers, but has not been adding additional Queens. So only it's on these 3 Queens, which means these bases are not going to be
no creep spread, actually.
Connected. Yeah, no creep tumor versus display, which is I think it's a fine way to deal with this, just building drones and going for the Spore Crawlers. I mean, she's accepting I'm going to lose something, but with these Spore Crawlers I'm not going to lose too much.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is a little annoying for Madalisk. She's actually supply block now, and now finally we have Overlords in production, but she's going to be supply block for a good 40 seconds at least, and that is quite annoying when you want to be going for such a greedy economy-based build like this. I mean, you don't want to be having
7 Overlords at the same time.
Yeah, here we go. So
that's actually 700 minerals. That is actually quite a lot.
Yeah, it is. Now we have them those guys finishing up here. These Phoenix are going to be coming in here, seeing that they cannot do too much. But I mean, when you have 4 to 5 Phoenix, you can still just pick drones up, even though you're taking 5 from Spore Crawlers. But you just need to be careful to not lose too many, because you want to keep those guys towards the late game.
Absolutely. Here it goes for the lifts onto a couple of drones right here. Picks up 3 of them, it looks like, without losing any Phoenixes. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Losing a bit of HP and a couple of Phoenixes. Ideally, you just want to lose these shields, of course, but here's somewhat of a...
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, not really a counterattack for Madalisk, just mainly scouting here.
Yeah, small poke there.
Robo into Robotics Bay here. So
this is
Phoenix Colossus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phoenix Colossus.
It's good versus Zerg too?
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, it's really good versus Terran.
Very powerful. But, I mean, you just need to be careful that your opponent doesn't identify this and, start making corruptors, because then you're kind of dead.
Yeah, and there's the Void Ray as well. So
okay, yeah, I like this.
Is it going to stay on 4... Is it 4, 5 Phoenix? 5 Phoenix.
Yeah. Dude, I love this when people go to 5. You need 4 Phoenix to kill a Queen, okay, in one lift. But if they get +1 armor, one lift will not be enough.
Okay.
You need to lift
That's
them twice,
why
but when you get the 5th Phoenix, you can kill him in one lift. So small trivia thing there. Now the supply for these guys are actually really, really even. Third base now finally coming down here for Mecca. He's so he should be adding additional Stargates actually to this. I would really like to see that. Like go up to 2 Stargates and make like Colossus Void Ray, because of the 3 bases, you can support that.
Madalisk going up to 80 drones now, right now, or 78 at least.
Very.
But no signs of taking a 4th base as well, and I think taking a 4th is going to be really difficult without any creep spread and without any Overlord vision on the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would have liked to add at least 1 queen and get some additional creep spread.
Yeah, I think this is definitely this could definitely come back and bite her in the backside. Like if she gets harassed or anything like that, you know. You want your units to be able to get across between bases really quickly.
But we can see here it's a really quick hive with double Evo and Hydra. So it's going to be what?
No, wait.
Viper.
Oh yeah. Viper Queen.
Like Roach Hydra Viper.
Do you think so?
I think Roach Hydra Viper and just a huge power attack.
Yeah, that makes sense now because she's getting the Zug missile attacks.
Yeah, just a big power play of 3 base and just try to kill the Protoss on 3 base. It's not gonna go for a 4th.
Yeah, just all in, really hard.
3 base, big all in, Roach Hydra Viper. I think that's a good play.
Yeah, absolutely. You abduct the Colossi and then just like
the Immortals.
Steamroll everything. But So now the initiative is going to lie with Madalisk, and Mecca is just going to come down to how he defends his 3rd base.
Absolutely. What is Mecca's unit composition looking like right now?
Let's take a look. He's got
1 Colossi, 2 Void Ray, 4 Sentries, and 6 Zealots. He can't move out here, though. I think this is... Well, if he just puts some pressure, I think it's fine, but he can't commit onto creep or anything.
No, it'll be too risky. I mean, he's got the sentries and stuff like that, but this Hydra count is just going to be too much. We've got Glial Reconstitution as well for these Roaches complete. Hydra Speed is right around the corner. That is the Muscular Augments. I really think it's cool that they decided to re-implement that into Heart of the Swarm, because back in Brood War, we had Hydralisk speed, and we also had Zealot leg speed instead of charge. I think I prefer charge, though. I
would love if they would add marine range.
Oh yeah, +1 range. Yeah, that'd be overpowered as shit.
Yeah, that's why I would love it.
Oh, I would like storm stacking. Yes, please.
Wow. Yeah. I would like if they remove the Colossi as well.
Yeah, I'd like if they removed the Marauder because it's a stupid unit.
Anyway,
going back to the real stuff.
We can actually see that these players' income are pretty much even. We can see Madalisk with a couple of more...
slightly high mineral
income. But yeah, my point was that she has 10 workers more, but still almost the same income because she's the only on 3 bases. Mecca is actually picking off a lot of drones right here.
Yeah, getting quite a few, eh?
But I don't think Madalisk minds this too much. I mean, 70 drones on 3 bases when you're not even thinking about taking a 4th, I think it's still okay for her. Anyway, this is the big power play that I talked about. Roach, Hydra, Viper. She's maxed soon. She has the 1/1 upgrades, and I think she just wants to go for this a big 3 base all in and reinforce with Roaches or Zerglings.
Yeah, but here we go. We have Temper out, all right. So this is going to be what it comes down to. Does he get the feedback or does he not?
I think Madalisk has to go very soon.
Yeah,
because if Mecca gets to build up his energy...
If he gets Storm, this can also be over very quickly.
Here Madalisk goes out on the map though, and we do have the Storm about to be completed. Only +1/+1 for Madalisk.
Nice scouting pylon. I really like this. Using it's a 100 mineral investment.
But it is a big 2-prong attack for Madalisk.
Yeah, but she sees these links coming in towards that 4th base. Now Storm is not done yet. Blink is right around the corner. Here we go. Nice feedbacks.
Huge feedbacks on some of those Vipers, but we still have some of that.
Look at the Phoenix. They're forcing away 2 of these Colossi.
2 Colossi, a 3rd Colossi as well. No photon overcharge just went down. Oh, there's the photon overcharge, but it looks like Madalisk is coming in for both angles. He's going to be able to break this position.
Yeah, really nice time up. No force fields going down either for Mecca. He really needs it. There we go. Finally they go, but I think they're a bit too late. Madalisk might actually take this game.
Wow, the big Zealot warp in there for Mecca. He has a lot of Phoenixes as well. He can't begin to lift Hydras. I think he has to go in with Phoenix and lift these Hydralisks.
Yeah, he can't lose his quite low.
Oh, he has to go for this right now. Mecca, use your Phoenixes. Why aren't you lifting? Here comes some more Zealots and the 3rd base goes down and Madalisk goes home. But we did see that it was not like a pure 3 base all in. Because she went for the 4th and the 5th base.
Yeah, I think he's dead. Honestly, I think Mecca's dead. He has to go super all in. Like Max wants, go all in. Because 5 base economy Zug when you've lost your 3rd base once, that's just a terrible position to be in, so hard to recover from.
I would have loved if he would have made an Oracle early, because it would have been so good in this position, not only to go around and harass all these bases, but also to have the Revelation.
Oh, so good, ambition. So good. So he could like force field the Ram, because he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Imagine like he had the Phoenix there in that fight. They were zoning out some of those Vipers. He got 2 feedbacks on 2 of them, so she only had energy on 2 because she had 4, and the Phoenix was zoning those out. And if he had been able to just quickly drop force fields, he'd been in a great position.
Yeah, Oracles are so good actually. Anyway, this is the muted transition for Madalisk. How many Phoenixes does Mecca have, and how many Stargates?
He's retained. He's actually not lost any of those, and he's now suddenly making more Phoenix. He's on a single Stargate. He should be adding a second one. Yeah, that's that. Going up to 2. That's good. And but this ground army for Madalisk is still fairly powerful. But okay, Mecca's army's not too bad. He's got 3 Colossi. He's got a bunch of High Templars with Storm on them as well. So his army is actually pretty good. He's stabilized now. 3rd base is up again and getting operational. But I mean, Madalisk is on 4 bases. She did lose at 5th though, so great pick off there from our Protoss.
Absolutely, and a big point here to not lose those High Templars there. Great play from Mecca, of course, retaining these Storms. But he can also use them for the feedbacks on the Vipers, of course. That is probably going to be the big thing here, if the Vipers will be able to get off the abducts.
Yeah, here we go. No, okay, big Storms, but no Photonova charge coming down here. 1 Colossus does get picked off. This Immortal is a little exposed. Archon's morphing right now. Microing back. I think he'll be able to hold. Because, additional warp base, here we go.
Mecca actually holds and takes a big supply lead of Madalisk. However, she has the biggest bank I've ever seen. So that is quite good for her, of course. Anyway, going into the Ultralisk Cavern and the Circling, so she's really exploring all the tech options right now, playing almost a bit Jaedong-esque, I'd say, going first for the Roach Hide attack, then into the Mutas, then into the Mule units.
And then back into the Mutas.
Yeah, so she's just going to be switching between these and forcing Mecca to react. But one thing that's quite important is that Archons are pretty good, much good against all of those units.
Yeah, okay. So these Phoenix did fly over these links, so they do see the counterattack coming in. Not too much is going to be able to happen now with these links, and he does see as well the 5th base being retaken if Madalisk. But still, look at how there's no creep spread, and
yeah, not a single creep tumor on the map.
This is actually really
and not a single overload outside the bases as well. So like pretty much no vision for Madalisk except for this circling force to the right.
Yeah. Now we have 8 Ultras in production. There's no adrenal glands being researched yet. +3 armor is on the way. Chitinous plating as well, and +1 melee attack. +3 Protoss ground weapons, though. That is going to be very powerful, especially with these Archons. I mean, and the fact that there are actually 2 Immortals in this mix, those are going to be so big. Like once the smoke clears and the Lings have died off and the Zealots are dead, you know, like when you have the staple backbone of your army, when those are fighting.
Absolutely, and we can see Mecca getting a lot of scouting information out of these Phoenixes.
Yeah.
Seeing all the Ultralisks, seeing the entire army, and he is actually going to get this circling force to the right completely for free. Madalisk is not getting out with a single circling. But do you think it's the right choice for Mecca to move out here?
Yeah, he does have a recall on his mothership core, so he should be... No, wait, there's no recall. Oh my god. And here we go. Big attack coming in towards the 3rd base with these Ultralisks as well. Warp in of Zealots. These guys are going to be able to destroy these Lings, melt through those, and there's an Immortal as well being trapped in the natural. This 3rd base could potentially go down, because I mean, this Protoss army is still quite far away if he decides to focus on Nexus, but here we go. Immortal coming out. He's lifting the
army though. A lot of Zealots and Immortals, which is a great competition versus Ultralisk.
Oh my god, Mecca is going to destroy this army!
Wow, the Ultras are just melting to those Immortals, shooting freely. That's a huge storm, and actually 3 more High Templars with a lot of energy on them, storming away on those Ultralisks and
the Nexus, Mecca, you have to protect the Nexus. Oh my god, it's going to go down.
But Mecca has the 3rd base to the right as well.
You're right.
He's forcing Madalisk back. Madalisk is out of gas, trying to transition into Mules, but she can only make like 13 or something of them because she doesn't have enough gas.
Yeah, 12 plus 6 more in production.
She also has 2 Vipers at home. Had those Vipers been in the band, that would have been a completely different story. Vipers are so important when you're going for a melee competition.
Abduct them into the army.
Yeah. I'd argue Viper are even more important when you have melee units than mage
absolutely.
units.
And Blinding Cloud.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Absolutely. It was the Immortals.
Okay, so now she's making this transition into the Mutalisks now, but 5 Phoenix are still up here for Mecca, and he's now going back into additional Phoenix production. So he's going to have 7 to be able to combat like
Mecca is so on top of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows. He just has this beautiful game sense, knowing when his opponent is going to be transitioning. And here we have him finally moving aggressively. This is the first time he's on Madalisk's half of the map. This third base is going to get completely annihilated. And huge counterattack here coming from Madalisk with the Mutas and Lings. And I think we have a base trade on our hands, but we do have a recall on that mothership.
Absolutely, and I do believe that there is a complete wall-in for Mecca at Natural, but here's the recall actually not getting that entire army.
No, dude, that would have been sick. Like leaving the Zealots and Archon to kill the other stuff.
Would have been pretty cool. And with the fourth base for Mecca might go down, these 3 cannons are probably not going to be enough. The Phoenix is chasing out the Mutas though. Oh, only 4 Phoenixes alive though.
Oh,
and I do not believe they do have the range upgrade, do they? No, they don't. Oh, and the 4th base for Mecca is actually going to go down. So Mecca is going to be down to 2 bases with pretty much no minerals and without any mineral bank whatsoever. Mecca is not in a good position here. I thought you had this game, but Madalisk might be taking it back.
Yeah, we'll see. Now we have 5 Phoenix out, and there's a 6th one trapped in this Stargate that is currently unpowered, so that's going to come up now. And he'll have 6 Phoenix. He'll need to micro those like a god. We have 4 additional Ultralisks in production. Mecca is moving across the map now. He does have Blink as well, and but he does not have a single High Templar, so that's no Storm. Well, he does have... Okay, free Ultralisk. Really, really good pickup. The Phoenix are currently fighting with Archon support, but he needs to micro these Phoenix. He can't lose them.
Every Phoenix is so important right now, as Mecca is pretty much only long distance mining from his 4th base. He's making another Phoenix right here. He's not actually going for an additional Nexi, and the Mutas are just having a party in the middle line. Although the Archons and the Phoenixes are chasing them away, Mecca's army on the right side is so scary right now. Can Madalisk fight it straight up? I don't think so. So many Zealots. Zealots are actually pretty good against Ultralisks.
Yeah, they get the surface area and they just annihilate it. Now, and especially with these 4 additional Archons to like join up with this army. And 2 of these Vipers.
Does he blink offensively? No, he doesn't.
Could have done that. Okay, right. So right now, the army supply.
This is the fight that's going to decide the game. Madalisk is coming in with the circlings, and the Ultralisks are quite a bit behind. Mecca just has such a scary army. So many Archons, so many huge blending clouds though, forcing those Colossi to run around instead of shooting. But I think Mecca has too big of an army. Kills the hatchery, kills the Ultralisks, and this is going to be GG. Mecca takes the game. Just outplaying Madalisk in macro game.
Absolutely. At the end, I thought that she had the game, killing the 3rd base.
Yeah.
I mean, that road hydro composition just showing how powerful it is, and Mecca scrambling to sort of, get something to happen, but he re-established that 3rd, and he stabilized, and he just magically and beautifully came back into that game and completely dominated.
Yeah, Madalisk went for the well-executed 3-base all and did a lot of damage, but it wasn't enough with Mecca just getting his macro rolling with the High Templars, with the Archons, with everything. So, great game from Mecca. He's my pick to win this season. Who's your pick?
Mecca absolutely displaying why he's one of the better players in this tournament, but I'm actually going to give it out to Winter again, because I know how good he is.
Yeah, really interesting. I think those two might
Winter
be the
versus Mecca would be an amazing finals.
Absolutely. And we're going to see, because the finals are...
Right around the corner, guys.
Yeah, it's just a bit more than a month left.
Yep. So really remember that, like, we're going to be having this event is it Chista again?
I'm not sure that we have any place decided yet, actually.
Soon. Hashtag soon.
Hashtag soon. So just keep an eye out on this social media for UniSL on Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube, and you will get to know everything about when the finals will be here. And if you are in Stockholm interested in StarCraft, of course, come watch. With,
absolutely. We have amazing crew.
Amazing crew, amazing
We had a bar last time, so we'll probably have that this year as well. But guys, remember to follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and Twitch, anywhere you can go. We're all over the place.
You should. And... well, I think that pretty much wraps up the StarCraft segment of this CouchCast. Of course, following this, it will be Hearthstone. But right now, we're signing out. My name is Henning, MrBadExample.
And I'm Tenshi. I'm Lucas Tenshi Collard, even. So, yeah, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to cast for you.